Okay, I have a speech impediment a little bit. You might
Impediment. I say impediment.
I thought it was an impediment.
Oh, sorry, guys.
I get berated the most out of everybody. It's either by white people or by black people. Nobody likes me.
I was going to bring this information to you.
No, he wasn't, because he gave me this information
Yeah, he
2 weeks ago.
I haven't heard about it till this day.
Australian
So the
Love
Big Brother
Island will not get you any fame, but it will get you free entry into Love Machine. That is the...
How does it feel? Because your comment section is always popping, but they all like you.
Why would they be hating on me? They're my friends.
Facts.
No, do you know what? I think because...
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Disruption Podcast.
Yes,
291.
Yes, indeed.
Oh my gosh, we're closing on
291 episodes of the greatest podcast in the world.
Okay,
man.
well.
Oh, okay, too much?
Something like that. Thank you for joining us. We got an hour and 20 minutes to entertain you.
Liar!
No. Maybe a bit more. I don't know. Do you know one more? I don't know. Up to you. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share us around, rate us on Spotify. That helps us heaps.
I almost finished our podcast this week, didn't
Okay,
I?
tell us.
With the ratings.
Oh yeah, this guy's stupid as thing. We spend the whole. Okay, also, I get berated the most out of everybody. It's either by white people or by black people. Nobody likes me. All right, but I don't care. I do it for the greater good. Traction for the podcast. That's fine. People start hating on us in the comments because I was like, hey, maybe Australia has a shoddy past. It is what it is. Okay. People don't really like that. They start hating. Daniel's dumb ass, right, starts messaging these people in the
And
DMs.
I told him not to. I don't know why he continued to
Like,
yeah.
wait, hold up wait. And he goes, hey, thank you for, like, as if it's some automated message. Hey, thank you for interacting.
Your engagement.
Your engagement on this latest post. It looks like you were quite passionate or something like that. Make sure you listen to the latest episode that's just dropped and rate us on Spotify. I see someone reply 1 out of 10. Right? And so I'm like, who the heck is replying to us? So I click on it and I'm like, I just go straight to our chat. I'm like, which genius thinks this is a good strategy? You're going to drive our rating to the ground. We're already struggling for numbers.
I was doing a micro research. I just wanted to see how passionate are these people really. Like, where were they going to go?
You think they're going to be like,
Hey, before we continue, man, first of all, let's introduce Sinit now. Now that we're here. Then we'll
Let's
jump
introduce
into-
ourselves.
Snap.
I'm laughing here.
It's Noor the Baghdadi.
Yes, sir, man. It's Chief Philosophy in the building, baby.
It's your girl, Molly. Is it?
It's the prince. What's happening?
Welcome.
And one of our favorites, one of your favorites is back. We needed more guests, and so we're like, you know what, let's just go to friends because they're the best.
Yes, sir.
Sinit, welcome to the show.
Hey guys.
Welcome back.
Thank you for
been a
having
while.
me.
Yo, how do you do this? Because you got motion.
Motion.
You've got motion.
We're riding your coattails right now.
You've got
Just in
absolute,
case you don't know, you
Really?
should be charging, but
Tell
I
me
don't care
more.
that you're not.
We're very happy.
absolute motion, man. Because I'm looking at the way your comments, people are there.
Yeah,
300, 600 comments. I said,
No,
what the
you know
heck?
what it is? How does it feel? Because your comment section is always popping, but they all like you.
They're never hating on you.
Yep.
Why would they be hating on me? They're my friends.
Facts.
No, do you know
Fair
what?
enough.
I think because my comment sections, it's all people that actually, mainly people that follow me. And I feel like I've built a very curated following.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anytime it leaves that demographic, then maybe sometimes.
The hate comments.
Yeah, but even then, it's not that crazy because it's just like, oh, I don't agree with you. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then maybe we might have a conversation. Sometimes we just block, you know?
But to be fair, I do think your take on certain topics is something that a lot of us actually agree with. Right? You're just sort of shedding a different light to it. It's like, oh, this actually makes sense. You're not saying anything like people like, no, we actually don't agree with this.
Yeah, and usually I can tell what the disagreement will be with my take. So usually I already add the counterpoint, you know?
Yeah.
And I just count it. In my
In case you were
video.
thinking, no,
That's
say,
literally, if you check any video of mine, it always says, and I know some people might say,
Yeah.
and I'll say, but this. It's kind of just like an essay format. And then if someone says what I knew they were going to say, I'm like, go back and watch the video slowly, 0.5 speed, and then come back. But, it's okay to have disagreements, I think. Hopefully I've created a healthy space.
I think it is. We have it.
Yeah.
You know what the problem is because I'll accept collab on the post, right? And so what that means, I'm getting 2 notifications of hatred from each person. So I get the notification on the disruption, I get a notification on my one, and I'm reading the same thing twice. I'm like, God damn.
Double the hate.
Noah's getting cooked on a holy Tuesday, man. Just a beautiful, normal Tuesday, man. Getting absolutely.
But to be honest, it was unnecessary. The things that people were commenting, it was
care.
just so like
Yeah.
you're just dragging it.
Yeah, we should even
Not
just give
lying.
context to maybe listeners. I don't know if
No,
you've seen
I've
it as well.
seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you replied to the
Yeah, I
story. Yeah. Yeah,
Wait,
nah.
I've seen it. Did I say? Oh my gosh.
You,
know what?
you said something around like just because people disagree doesn't mean you're wrong.
Yes.
Oh no, I know that. But just then, I just said I've seen it. But I hate when people say, "I seen it." I didn't say that. I saw it, guys.
I saw it.
Oh, lols. I've seen. Okay, yeah. Miss English. That's how you know you're a professional yapper.
No, that's the only. That's the only one I don't
see,
like because
now
you,
people are gonna get on you about the whole thing of vocabulary and
no.
this and
The
that.
only one I don't like is Sinit because my name is Sinit, guys. If you go to Urban Dictionary, it says that Australian slang for Sinit is Sinit, like my name. I Sinit. So in primary school, people would always say that, and that's why I don't use that in my vocabulary. That's my name. Don't use that.
Say my name.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, right?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, but it's good to have you.
Yes, thank
Yeah, last time we were here was a good chat, and that's when I realized I'm like, bro, she's got structure to these freaking points. This is a
Like, this is a
professional
proper,
yapper.
like,
this is a real.
How much research do you do before you just jump on and turn your camera?
Ooh, research. I mean, if I'm talking about something that I think requires more research, usually I will go read a bit.
Yeah.
But most of the things I think I'm already hopefully
Aware
informed about or aware about before turning on a video and start
Start
speaking,
talking,
you know?
about it, yeah.
Because I don't think I've ever done that actually. Just
Huh?
no, unless it's something like that's a bit trivial. Like if I go on and talk about like Love Island or something, that's just straight from me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like you
And-
know the facts.
Yeah, but like if something requires, I think, more facts or
Yeah.
something that can be refuted, then I'll go search it just to make sure I'm
Just a
saying the
little
right
bit more.
thing. But usually it is, yeah. mainly
Were you
also
following
done.
the whole Black Lively situation that was happening at the time?
Blake Lively? No, I actually didn't follow that. to
Ah,
be fair.
damn. Felt like the whole TikTok world was on that.
Yeah, I only saw here and there, but I can't say I went in and looked at it. Yeah. I did watch the movie though.
I don't
Oh,
know.
the
yeah.
movies?
It ended
Oh, yeah, the
up.
movies.
I still haven't
Yeah.
even seen that.
You know what I'm
Really?
saying?
I've heard all this. I haven't even gone and watched this whole
Ah,
movie
it's okay.
that
Yeah.
has caused all of this stuff.
I can't say I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Great movie. Maybe
just-
it was okay.
It was okay, yeah. Like, I
Yeah.
get the messaging, but in terms of the movies, like,
Yeah, I think a lot of people were upset about the promo run, which
Yeah.
so fair.
What happened in the promo?
I mean, you would think from the promo run it was a movie about a flower shop. The way she was promoting it.
Flower shop.
You wouldn't think it's about domestic violence
Domestic,
yeah, right.
at all. Yeah, so that's totally.
If you guys did watch
understandable.
it, that actually makes sense.
But I mean,
yeah.
in my mind, I'm like, bro, how much can you promo the DV though?
No, that's true. But I think a lot of the audience, maybe this is just me being biased because I read the book, would be a lot of the chunk of it would be people that read the book first. Yeah, it was a
This
very.
is unfolding
No,
to
no,
me.
no,
There was a book,
And
and then
then-
I think it was Justin Baldoni that was like, "Yo, I really want to bring this to life. Very
Yeah.
important story, blah blah." blah. And
Yeah.
then that's how it all.
Yeah, the Colleen Hoover books. You guys don't know about Colleen Hoover? She runs.
I know
Book Talk.
Colleen Hoover.
Yeah,
I don't know books though.
Oh,
Yeah, she's the
shout
The
out.
most
man.
popular-
What made you just pick up the book and read that book?
I'm not gonna lie, I gave into the hype. This was a bit years ago when it
Yeah,
came
the-
out.
yeah.
It was quite popular. And I thought, oh, let's read this book. The cover was really nice and pink, and I said, let me read it. And then I wasn't expecting those themes at all. And I remember it was like I don't want to say too much because I know some people will die about that book, but I didn't really. I don't know. I don't like her writing style.
No, just critique it down to the right.
Nah,
That's a valid reason. to
It
like,
is.
yeah, actually,
Yeah.
that's a yeah.
Oh my days.
It's It's kind of like, you know, in primary school when they tell you show don't tell. I feel like she's just a tell. She just tells. She doesn't, you know.
And take you on a story or
No.
something like that. Okay.
But-
I haven't read a book in probably 10, 11 years. Finished. I haven't finished a book. Let me not make myself look very stupid. I haven't finished a book
Yeah.
in about 10, 11 years now. So,
I remember you
I
carried the same
couldn't-
book for like 3 weeks straight.
bro, Sapiens.
Couple
what?
of months, yeah.
That
Did you
Sapiens
finish
has
it?
still got
Chapter
the.
one or what?
Bro, I'm on chapter 5 of Sapiens.
I'm pretty sure there's 27
Sapiens?
chapters.
You know, that book is really problematic.
Okay,
Yeah. No.
I didn't get to the problematic part yet.
I don't know if I passed it.
So far, I was like, good stuff. Animals can't think about the future. Good. I love it.
But you know what? It's okay to
all I got.
I think when you start to get back into reading, you realize how fried your attention span is. But you kind of just have to push through it.
Push through, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Do you read a lot?
Give me a
Now I
podcast.
do, yes. But I would say a couple,
Fiction, non-fiction.
a bit of both. I think that we should all be reading fiction.
Fiction goes crazy. What's your like go to when it comes to fiction? You give me like Fourth Wing kind of vibe.
Brother, what the
Fourth
freak?
Wing. Is that the... Okay, maybe I'm
No, because there was a hype about the book as well, and you're giving me a vibe that you probably.
I haven't read that, but
yeah,
do you know what?
yeah.
At my old job, everyone used to read that, and I
The only
never
book I've
got
heard
into
about in
it.
the last like 3 years was Icebreaker,
Brother,
whatever it's called.
I haven't
You
read
know that
that.
one with the ice skating cover?
asking.
Oh no!
Apparently, like, because like it's sold everywhere, but it's like spicy. It's a spicy book, right?
Oh, okay.
But the cover looks very
More like
childish.
erotica?
So yeah, so it's in
Goodness.
Kmart and everything,
bro.
right?
It's always in Kmart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
but
always
Kmart is a
on-
banger,
And
bro.
so-
You gotta make this thing
And so
accessible to these
a
women,
lot
man.
of kids were picking up because it looks like cool,
Mistake.
the cover and whatnot. And then the parents were like, "Oh, hold on.
He smashed me
He's
against
put her
the
through the
wall.
mattress. He broke the ice.
Madness, bro.
Oh, it's so
Yeah,
bad.
nah, hey, I let me not even start, man. 'Cause I know some colleagues that are reading some certain ones, and she just told me, like, hey, Daniel, have a look at this chapter right here. I said, bro, you need to find God.
Okay, see, this is kind of crazy because, like, what do you mean you're reading this at work? Like if I whipped out my phone right now and started watching shows that are X-rated, everyone would be like, "You're insane."
Yeah, but books are a little bit more private. Like, how's anyone
Nah,
gonna know?
the title,
what
bro.
you're-
Like I remember.
yeah, but they have the most mysterious
Yeah,
titles.
it would never-
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
You actually
Charm in his eyes. I don't know.
Like, my parents would have never known what those Harry Styles books I was reading meant when I
Harry
was a child.
Styles.
No, to be fair, I didn't know
Wait,
what they
did
were
you read
either.
fan fiction?
Oh!
I did.
What's that?
Did I
Wattpad
read
or whatever?
fan fiction?
Wattpad. You made them as well.
Wait, you made them?
My sister made some Percy Jackson.
And then Harry threw
Harry
me.
Holiday ones.
And then Harry picked me out of the crowd.
Oh, please. My fan fictions, we were just going on stage and singing together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like your writing style.
Do you still, when you go to concerts, you have an artist you really like, do you still like imagine that, hey, they're gonna notice?
the
and
day I
they're
get
gonna-
called out.
100%.
I do this all the time.
Skepta?
Grease.
The Skepta smiled at me.
Get this delusion
Did he
out
actually
of here.
smile, or
smile
was
at
it?
you, yeah.
Was
He has
it
something in
like
his teeth
a
on stage, man.
delusion?
No. He was smiling at the girl behind you.
Mistake.
Hey, I will show you something after.
Okay.
He did see me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He smiled at me.
Oh my gosh, bro.
And I'm not doing no, joking. But
Wait,
Allowed.
do you fantasize about those things when you're watching like an artist?
Like, it's happened.
Damn, bro. What
Yeah,
what'd you think about when you had the Drake? Like, Drake.
I didn't go to Drake.
I'm talking about.
did
It
anyone
was
here
Snow
go to
Allegra.
Drake?
Okay, it was Snow Allegra's concert.
Valid.
I just kept thinking, oh, we're gonna go up and sing Charleville Part 2 together.
Together. Off key, off pitch, everything,
Doesn't matter.
bro.
She saw me.
I have that delusion at every concert I go to. Even at Thames, I was like, oh, yeah, she wants to come sing to me right now.
Loves,
Any
man.
single concert I go to, I feel like I can summon their eyes. I don't know what
It will happen one day, though.
Yeah.
You just got to keep going to concerts. That's
Yeah,
it. It's
exactly.
kind of like the Tassalotta. Like, it'll happen one day,
No,
kind of vibe. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. No, you got this, man. That's all.
That's hilarious.
Do we
Alright,
do
do you guys want
the.
to know why she's late?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And then
Let's
after
hear it.
that, Miles got a
No,
little
this is how
song.
you like. She put effort into this, right? So she messages me. I was like, oh, we'll meet up 12:30. I'll pick you up from the mall after you get from the station, whatnot. And then just from the station. She goes, oh, I'm at the mall, by the way. Sorry, I'm gonna be a bit late. I'm getting my nails done. Just for this.
That's what it is.
Guys, oh, please. Hey,
That's what it is.
hey, you're rewriting
Just for
history.
He's adding some spice.
Not the cuticle cutter at 12:30, bro. What's going on?
Hey, let me retell the story. My story, guys. Tell my truth. Okay, I was taking my nails off. Mind you, that takes maybe what, like?
Takes time. It does.
I was gonna say it takes 10 minutes.
Oh, mine
Taking them
usually-
off?
Mine usually
Wait, do you
take
take
a
them
while.
off yourself or do you
I
let
soak
the
No, I
lady
was
do it?
getting them. Okay,
You got
yeah.
them soaked off and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't get my nails
Depends-
done that
depends
often.
where
But
you go.
anyways, I went to I just found a random nail shop. There was only 2 people in there, mind you, okay? I walk in and I'm like, oh, can I just get these off? And then maybe some French tips. Mind you, I was an hour early because I said I'm never going to be late to it, especially to this podcast. I value you guys' time, you know? Anyways, so I was an hour early. I said it's not going to take that long. There was a couple there, maybe a middle-aged couple. The woman was getting her toes done. And then this guy decides he wants to get his toes done too. I don't think he was a paying customer until maybe he saw me come in there. He says, oh, I want to get one too.
Stuff it.
Anyways, they were taking their time. She had me in there soaking my nails, maybe 45 minutes. And I was like, I don't think this is even safe for my skin.
To be in here this long, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, she would keep coming back and she would look at the nails. Mind you, the acrylics have all gone. And she's like, oh, it needs 5 more minutes. No, it doesn't need 5 more minutes. I said, whatever. I'm not really confrontational. So I said, oh, it's okay, whatever. Anyways, they finished their little pedicure. They come sit by the seats and the woman was getting her nails done. Sure. As she should. She's a paying customer. Now the man Now he wants to get his nails done too.
Nah, bro.
Guys, I'm not a hater. I think, man, if you want to get your nails done, get your nails done.
it.
He sat there for 10 minutes trying to pick a color. Said,
Oh,
pick the
this ain't
colour.
even just a clear.
Oh, no. He was
Colour.
picking a color. I said, let me pick the color for you, please. He's taking his time.
Goodness.
He ended up going with purple.
Bunny.
Nah, I like that. Bunny's a good color. Yeah, I'm on that.
Hey,
Buddy.
purple.
Bunny.
What's that?
It's like a little, like an off-white, like a
Why do
pink
you know
line.
that?
Wait, we're gonna get into
I
I
love
know
it.
that myself.
Nah, bunny's the color, man. Anyways, carry on.
Dude.
Bunny on an almond shape.
Yeah.
See, this was my problem.
Yeah, I'm
As a
coughing.
man, you're in women's business, being in the nail salon. You're taking up this space. I feel like also for the sequence of the cue, I stepped in before you even getting your nails done. I feel like I should be getting my nails done.
That's true.
And then she came to me and she's like, "Okay, it's time." I said, "It's time. It was an hour ago."
My hands are
Anyways,
wrinkly.
no, actually, if I show you the photo I sent to my sister, I looked like a witch.
Bro,
Scary.
that's
And I said,
mad.
you know what, whatever. I'm here. Now, I was going to get French tips. I was being very considerate. I said, just paint them. Just paint them at this point.
Jeez.
She paints them. It takes 10 minutes. Can you imagine? By the time that guy was picking his nail color, I could have finished my nails. Yeah, sorry. That was a very first world problem. But it's just like,
True.
get out of the salon.
Damn, man. Yeah, hey, look,
Jeez.
we're trying to change the narrative, and you need to hold space for us. You said we're taking up space. I think you need to learn how to hold space.
Hold space in your own
Man.
salon.
What do you mean? Like,
Nah.
This is what you're saying about men getting in women's
Yeah,
business.
so I hear this all the time from girls that they just don't like it when guys know too much about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I know everything.
well, but what kind of stuff like the hair, the nails,
like hair,
makeup.
nails, makeup.
It depends how you came about that information.
So that's
Okay.
the problem.
So how did you come about the information that you know?
Which part of the information?
All of it.
Well, it's
The
like-
nails. How
this
do you know
life is
about
a
nails?
big
Why would you need
experience.
to know about
Why
nails?
do you know
things
Bunny?
from many places. I know Bunny because of this guy. I'm not gonna lie.
Why do you know Bunny?
Bro,
Doesn't even know
Never
Bunny.
come with me to the nail salon.
never.
Let's
But
be
look, I was
mindful.
at work, yeah, and obviously these ladies all love getting their nails done, so they're all talking about it. And like, oh, I got this one. One of them had glow in the dark fire. I said, I've never seen this before. How do I do that? And another one had, she had like some kind of burgundy. I don't know what color that was.
Okay, see, in my head right now, I was just saying, burgundy is fire.
it's
Bro,
fine.
See, burgundy, there's no problem with that. You know the color wheel. But Bunny, why do you
Yes.
know Bunny?
So then,
That's
and then this
that's
other
the
girl had
problem.
one. I'm like, oh, that's not white. What is that? It's Bunny. I said, oh,
said,
yeah.
Bunny.
Bunny. That's the new one. I was gonna bring this information to you actually as well. That was my market research recon.
Right.
And then
No,
yeah,
he wasn't because he gave me this information
Yeah,
two
he does.
weeks ago.
I haven't heard about it till this day.
he's gonna try it himself.
I forgot. Yeah, I was gonna go do a little tester.
Hey, Mo, what do you think?
Hey, Bunny's the future, man.
So I don't know. So why don't y'all like men knowing this? To be fair, I think it makes sense that men actually know, right? Because example, let's say your
It
man
does.
knows about nails or your hair. It means if we're gonna go shopping one day for you, we know how to get you the right stuff or the
Yeah.
makeup or whatever it is.
No, I agree. I think to an extent, yeah, you should be informed. If that came through your partner's life, you were just like observing. I think that's cute. It means you're observant. But
What if I make a
But like you
suggestion to my
said,
partner?
a suggestion.
Like, hey, I
so where are you
reckon
making the suggestions
like,
from?
what?
Where do you make the suggestion? Like, where do you find
She's
this
going
information?
like, oh, I'm gonna go get my nails done. I'm like, oh, you know, it looks good. Like, I don't know, like a
Yeah, where did you
light
see
blue
it? Where did it
almond
look good from?
Oh,
shade,
that's fine.
whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's us knowing though, no?
Nah, some of the people on the TikTok app, some of the men on that app, they come and they're like, oh, I love when girls have the 6, 13, 27, number
bust
30
down.
braids.
6,
That's
13
wild.
bust down.
Yeah, like bro.
That's detailed.
How do you know that?
Detailed, yeah.
There's someone you're following.
You know
yeah.
what that means? That means it's like their previous girl had that, and that's why.
Yeah.
they remember
Ah,
it.
but it might be Build a Babe
Or
as
a
well.
girl that
I
they-
think it's
Build a
Build a Babe.
Babe.
Yeah, man. You've seen something.
Build a Babe.
It's Build a Babe, bro, for sure. I think that because I literally just saw like this guy. This is one guy on Snapchat. He just rules Snapchat. From our primary school, our high school, even. Shout out, write the time down so I can block that out. But he was buying this stuff for like tampon and pad for his girl, yeah?
Yeah.
So he puts it up on the story. One of them, I think the tampon had like, it was a pink packaging. and the pad was blue. He's like, bro, I just went to the shops. I don't even know what she wants. I brought blueberry ice and raspberry. Not blue ice and raspberry freeze. I don't know what she wants, man. I just got all of them. I'm like, this is what a lot of men, they go there with no information. Just like, bro, what do I do here?
Okay, see, now that's when I feel like you should know basics of
I don't know what flavor she wants.
That's just
To be fair,
incompetent.
that makes sense. I saw this video on TikTok. He's like, hey, can you please get me pads with wings?
I've seen this.
And he literally got her pads and chicken wings.
That's ridiculous.
That's like, you're stupid. No, you know how all this talk about weaponized incompetence, that's what that is.
I
That
hear
is-
it. Yeah.
Because I'm not going to send you again.
No,
Nah, but come on, man. You got pads and now you got some chicken freaking wings, bro.
Imagine, like, it makes sense.
It doesn't make
No.
sense.
Because she could be crazy.
No.
No.
Yes.
She wants some
No.
buffalo wings, bro.
Facts.
With wings.
No, it doesn't make
Like
sense
what-
because you're in the aisle. You should be reading, analyzing
Yes,
all the
the
information.
packaging.
You would be able to
Yes.
see right next to the pads without wings. There's a pads with wings. You can read.
This is weaponized competence.
Oh, please. No.
I'm supposed to know.
We have gone too long with men just being able to get away with the bare minimum, and that's why we have the
I
structure here.
am on the side of I love
No, I don't
this
know.
knowledge.
Like,
I
no,
know.
that's
I don't
like
know
me-
about you, man. Get your money up, get your funny up. Bro, I don't
You
know
guys
what's
ever
going
seen
on
your
there.
dad buy your mum pads?
Impossible.
I saw it once and I was like, I think this guy's gay. I was standing in the aisle with him. It's just me and him in the store, and this guy's like, he just knew what to get, and I was like, oh gosh.
That means he's a good
That's a
husband.
good man. That's
Bro,
good
I was a
man.
kid. Now I thought it was gay. All right, it's the same thing. When I was a kid, I used to hate walking through the bra section with my mom.
Oh,
And I was like,
briskly.
oh my goodness, what am I looking at? This is disgusting. Nowadays,
Hello.
not a problem.
That's growth.
Yeah.
But I get it. It's, to an extent, you should be informed to know. Like,
100%.
it's actually not bad with chicken wings.
Nah,
No,
bro,
because what would be
pad
the
with
male
wings.
equivalent if a woman was asked to do something
so,
for a man?
No, it's not asked to do. I was just thinking about this. Sports.
Oh, we would
When
be
we
fine.
know
No,
about sports,
but imagine like you're sitting with your girl. Some guys will care, some guys wouldn't care. I think I lean towards I don't care.
Right.
But like imagine you're sitting with your girl and you're watching, I don't know, NBA Finals, and she goes, damn, Danny Green's 1 point away from a triple-double if he gets this rebound. I'm not gonna lie. You might look at her and be like, what?
God forbid she has hobbies. Maybe she does.
Man, nah, dog.
Like SNS and
Brother,
Miami.
after that, she may as well shave the back of her head and get that hairstyle, bro. Because what's going on in this house?
This one right here.
With these, with the spikes.
Hey, younger May, sit over here.
Yo. Ooh, nah, man. That's not my babes anymore.
I don't know who that is, bro.
I don't know. There's maybe for guys.
There's a sweet spot on
yeah,
both
there's,
ends. There's
but
a
I think
sweet
it's just the interest side. I think for women, you don't care if we don't really take that much to your interest, I'd say. Like, Mao doesn't care that I do not give a damn about Love Island.
Oh no, I care. You're
Okay.
gonna watch that with me.
Nah,
And the thing
man.
is, every man will actually enjoy it.
They'll enjoy
because
it when
Okay,
they watch
you guys
it,
are
yes.
repressing it. You guys actually,
Yes.
I think you would have so much fun.
Nah,
with
Come
it.
on,
so
you know how disgusted I am, bro.
In what's it called? Love Island, those kind of shows, Bachelor, whatever. I've always hated them just because I find they
Ruin society.
pervert romance, right? But and I was like, I just hate the concept of all this.
Yeah.
Right? Growing up, even Big Brother, I didn't watch it, all that kind of stuff. This year I watched Inside on Netflix, the Sidemen one.
Okay.
Amazing.
But that's
I was-
different.
no.
different.
So what I realized, this is just me taking inventory on myself. I realized I actually do like the concept of watching people live their lives.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I actually do like that.
Yeah.
But it just has. It was just wholesome.
I think for that was
Nobody's
it didn't
little bit
perpetuate
of
some
flirting,
rubbish.
whatever.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. But that's what we
So
saw.
my Casa Blanca, whatever the heck they call it, man.
Casa Amor?
I don't know.
Okay.
Casa Amor, yeah. See? Thank God. I don't know it.
don't get me wrong.
You still say
You're right, but is it creating these issues or is it just reflecting the dating issues we already have?
I think both. I think
Yeah.
both.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
definitely is on like a bigger scale, I think.
And we're
But-
creating horrible celebrities. Thankfully, not a lot of them
That's-
try
I mean,
and
till this
slay.
day, who's our
Yeah.
biggest
Influencers.
Australian influencer?
Oh,
Lara
Australian Love
Lara
Island
Bingle.
is just.
Apparently
I'm
it's
not
the
gonna
best
lie,
one,
I
isn't it?
enjoy it, but I don't
Yeah.
think they have any sustained fame after the show.
Right.
I think right now the biggest one from the recent season would be that light skinned guy and Mimi.
I heard this name. Mimi.
Ayo? No, Ayo, no. They broke up. Josh
heard this name.
and Mimi?
I've heard this.
Oh, this
Yes.
is the
Is
UK
that the one
one.
we
that's
saw
UK.
outside
Oh,
the club? One of those.
You probably they're always in the club. See, this is the thing. Australian
saw the
Love
Big Brother guy.
Islands will not get you any fame, but it will get you free entry into Love Machine. That is the
Love Mac.
Long.
That is,
Bro.
no, that is the greatest thing that Australian Love Island stars going to do. It's like,
That is
It's
hilarious.
so
They'll be-
sad
yeah,
compared
they'll be
to like
starring
the
in the
UK
club.
ones.
No,
the
I
USA
think it's
ones.
deserved.
It's just we don't have a
Why?
market, bro. We don't have a
We
market.
don't have a
Apparently,
market.
Our maths is amazing.
Yeah,
maths. Maths, I think those people actually go on to some sort of
Something
fame.
like that,
They'll
yeah.
go on and start a podcast.
Yeah.
And then,
Hey, mate, we're ahead of him. We're already ahead of him, mate.
yeah, which I don't know. It may be like, again, I know people always talk about, like, I've talked about it too, tall poppy syndrome in Australia. It
Yeah.
could also be that. I don't think Australians are fanned out as much, maybe, as other countries. We also just, I don't think as many people watch the Love Island Australia.
You had a nice take on the influencer thing, though, around the starter pack of, like,
Oh yeah.
have an N-word scandal and what was the other one or something?
And be mediocre.
And be mediocre.
Yeah. The Australian influencing scene, that can be its whole own podcast topic. I don't know
crazy.
if it's like the cultural insularity of Australia. They're just so
Sorry,
far
can you
removed.
break that?
The what?
Insularity?
Insularity.
Oh,
You know,
like insular.
information,
Yes,
like
yeah.
they're just
I
on
spelt
their
it
own.
INSO. That's why I got thrown off. Okay,
Insularity.
insularity.
That might be
yeah.
my pronunciation. I
no, you
can't.
straight.
Okay, I have a speech impediment a little bit. You might
Impediment. To say, I say impediment.
I thought it was an impediment.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
To
guys.
get that word wrong as you're saying it is hilarious.
After I got my braces, I don't know what they did to my mouth, but they took away my S's and my T's.
I'm so
Like,
sorry, man.
Yes,
But yes, mediocrity and
Yeah, mediocrity. They're just, I don't know if you saw
Chrissy.
the recent scandal. I mean, no one knew who those people in that content
Was
were.
it-
5 days into having this creator house.
yeah,
Yeah,
house.
one of them
yes.
says the N word. I didn't even say that, but maybe 10
sang
times
it.
on repeat.
He said it and repeat.
Yeah, and then I think the house got not taken down. I think they just decided to go home. Like
Demolition.
They shut it down. They shut down
they
the
shut
operation
down
immediately.
the operation. There was nothing going on there, to be fair.
Were
in
they
the first
known
place.
creators or?
They were. They're like Melbourne known.
Really?
Didn't you say you went to high school with someone even? Was it?
Yeah, but like not known. No,
Oh.
no. I saw them. I saw the video, and I didn't know a single person. So
Yeah,
I don't
they're
think
all
on
just
the radar.
losers. Anyways, so there was like I think like 20 people in that house. On the first day, second day, one of the girls
Gosh, that's
posted
not
a
a
video.
content creator house. That's a boarding school.
No, literally a boarding school of mediocrity. But anyways, so there was, she posted a video, and in the background you can hear a white man saying the N word like 20 times, maybe 10 times. Let me not be. It's still 20 times, 100
Yeah.
times. Anyways, she didn't edit that out. She posted it, and she said that it was an accident. I believe she posted that on purpose to gain a little bit of traction.
Okay.
You know, controversy sells. But then after you've done that, I think you should stand by it. Don't come back and be like, oh, you know, I just forgot to edit it out. I don't stand by that. Yes, you do stand by that. And you did that on purpose.
That's
you know,
so
no one, I don't believe these influencer apologies, because if I was a white person and I, you know, saw this happening, I would first of all delete the video. I wouldn't delete the video. I wouldn't post it in the first place. You don't just accidentally leave that in a video. Something as, you know, scandalous
The
as
crazy
that.
part is, from what I've seen, I think I was watching you look at it, right? I saw the reaction of like, oh snap, did he just say that? So clearly,
So she knows.
you've seen that. Like
Yeah.
you take a timestamp.
Like, you
You
know.
think that we're gonna let something slide on the pod on our
course.
level? They're
Yeah.
saying that the guy's singing that in the background, and she's reacted like, you don't forget that after
Yeah,
that.
exactly. And even that reaction, that wasn't like, oh my gosh reaction. It was like a, oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
yeah.
I
You
just
don't
caught
get-
something
yeah.
fun for my video.
You're not
You know
gonna
what I
forget
mean?
that. That's for sure.
No. But yeah, I think that
Damn.
is the whole Australian influencing scene that is summed up into one video. I think is that at least,
It's facts.
yeah, the majority of it.
Yeah, I was gonna roast one other one, but let me leave her alone. She's doing all right now. Fine, I'll say it. Leah Holton. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I like Leah Holton. Yeah,
That's
so
the-
cute.
I just
She's-
don't know how. Yeah, I love it
Yeah.
now.
There's no reason to hate on her. Then.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
And that's the thing. Leah
I
Holton
just don't know how
hate.
she did it.
No. Leah Holton hate is so forced.
Yeah,
she
she
doesn't
She
do
got
anything
it.
besides.
Yeah.
How are you mad that she's the one that gained 1 billion followers? You
Crazy.
a billion likes, was it, or a billion
Yeah, it
views?
must
A
be.
billion
Likes.
views.
It might have even been
It has to be
likes.
views. Yeah, you're
'Cause
the
if
one that
it's
gave her
likes,
the
it's
views.
more.
I don't understand
Literally.
it.
She just took the video and she
was
put it up. You guys
crazy.
are the ones who flocked
She was
to
just
the
following
video.
the trend. That's the thing.
And do you know what I don't like about that? Now, if you go to her page and you go to her comment section, it's just a bunch of bots. Like, oh, here before 1 million likes, here before 1 million likes. That's why I think when you reach that level of virality and fame, it comes with a little bit of a sacrifice. You've lost your core
Like,
You
audience.
don't have a
Engagement.
community.
You don't have a
Yeah.
community anymore. It's just a bunch of bots, and it's just really sad because I used to follow her like back in when she was
Oh,
like
right,
Melbourne
yeah.
famous. I feel like she had a cute little audience. I mean, she was gaining traction, of course, but it was people that had similar interests. They liked her personality. They were organically reacting to her content. Now it's just the same 10 comments. So I think while it comes with like a lot of fame, success, a lot of opportunities, I think you lose, you know, that like authenticity
ability to
to your
actually
have the
yeah,
connection.
definitely,
Oh, wow.
which is
That's interesting.
I guess I don't know. I guess more people would still take the 10 million followers.
Hey, man,
but
if you come with $10 million as well.
She made
man.
that song massive though.
I think the song's already
Lauren
massive.
Hill's song.
Big before.
I think the song's
I don't
already
think it was as big until it was that. Because
I
that
think-
really
I think it
pushed
was-
it.
I
And
think it
then
was
like what
popular.
else has he dropped since? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
Yeah.
you bang her song with Davido.
That's a banger song.
Okay, moving on. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's run it now.
All
Then
right,
we got a
let's
game.
we're gonna change up the game a little today. Do something different, something fun that I saw. So you're all gonna get a whiteboard.
Do you always wear a blinged out Apple Watch?
Me? Oh yeah.
Just need
She got that bust down. bro.
Oh,
You know,
bling
trying to
bling.
make it look fancy and that.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Thank you.
Because
thank
you know when people wear the Apple Watch with like a suit, take it off.
Oh, I agree.
This is
I
Yeah.
like that one, yeah.
With what? 'Cause
Oh,
I
with the
might have
dresses
that.
as well.
With like a suit. No, like
Oh, yeah, nah.
yeah.
With
What
the
if-
dresses.
But what if
No,
you make
they
the Apple Watch
do.
bust down though?
Make it. Yeah.
If you make a bust down, you can rock it with a
This
suit.
looks like
Bust
AP.
down AP, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if I
Prince.
wear a formal dress, I'm gonna take this band off and replace it, make it look
With the
nice.
goldie.
Nah,
That's-
great.
Yeah.
No, we're no watches.
All right, cool. So the way this game is gonna work, I'm gonna give you guys 5 questions. Just some random questions, and I want you to answer the way you think Sinet's gonna answer.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
you
like
will write
this.
down your answers, and then they'll write it down as well the way
Make sure I
that they
don't see
think.
it,
Okay.
'cause I don't-
The way that they think you will write it. So we'll do 5 questions.
Like how she'll react, is what you're saying?
Like how she
What,
would
how
so-
she would answer.
How she would answer the
Like
question.
answer as
Okay, so the first one is a red flag she always ignores. Or that she would
Ignores.
ignore.
Damn.
Yep, so a red flag that she would ignore.
A red flag that she would ignore. Oh
That
my
she would
Oh,
ignore.
that's hard because you seem on top of your life.
Yeah.
Number 2. All
Damn. Speech impediment, bro.
right, question number 2 is what one word she'd use to describe herself that others might not expect? So a word that she would use.
How am I supposed to expect it, man?
herself. Okay, just do a word that she would use to describe herself. Let's just leave it at that.
Oh.
Yep. What's one word that she would use to describe herself?
Oh, those are such different questions, aren't they?
They are. But seems like
Did you have an answer more
Yeah,
readily for
yeah.
the first one?
First one?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine,
All right,
fine.
so let's
do
stick to
that.
the first
Yeah,
one
stick
then.
to the
Okay.
first one.
All right, so question number 2 is what one word she'd use to describe herself that others might not expect? Question number 3, what's her biggest pet peeve in public spaces?
I'm about to go 0 for 5 on this, man. Bro.
All right. Question number 4, if she had to give up on one forever, which would it be? Music, movies, or social media? Music, movies, or social media? Last question is, what's a topic she could rant about for 10 minutes straight? No notes.
10 minutes straight.
10 minutes straight, no notes.
What the heck, bro?
So first question was a red flag that she always ignores, that she
Right.
would always ignore.
Chieftain all out today. I think. Oh, I've just shown
show us
everything.
the whole thing.
Yeah. I want to be.
Tell us the answer.
Flexes money. So like a guy that flexes money, but she's like, hey man, at the end of the day, the money's good.
That's red flag.
Oh, interesting.
I said a guy that sends slow replies on text, like and she just goes, oh, he must be busy, but it's just slow replies.
Oh,
Making excuses
okay.
for him, yep.
I said a guy that would avoid bringing you around friends and family.
Red flag to ignore.
Oh. So you
wouldn't
think she'd
ignore?
that?
That thing is crimson flag is shining, bro.
That was in my eyes.
burgundy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I
Eyes
just
are
feel
burning.
like you might be caught up with, how he's treating you
With
at the
being
moment.
stuck with each other only? Nah, that,
Yeah.
Okay.
Wouldn't ignore.
Damn.
Yeah. You know what? That one I would ignore, but I wouldn't think it's a red flag in the first place.
Okay.
All right, what was the
What's your
answer?
answer?
I said none. There's no.
Oh,
See, I said this is hard because I feel like she knows herself well.
Yeah, and the
I
thing
agree,
is, if the question is how would Sinit reply, I feel like to me, I would reply with saying none. Like,
That is
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
That's
That's
fair.
good. That's good though.
And I think we've lost touch of what it means to be like a red flag. Red flag, we're not ignoring red flags, guys.
Yeah.
Do better. No, I'm joking. But
facts.
Nah, that's
yeah,
true.
no,
Not true though. Do better.
Yeah, do
Red
better.
flag.
I
for
think
sure.
sometimes people
Yeah.
get themselves in shoddy situations just because like you could have done better.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
All right. Awesome.
Question 2.
Second one.
So, second one was what's one word she'd use to describe herself that others might not expect?
Dog. I was cooked, man.
That was a
I
hard
went
one.
with silly.
I hear it.
I hear it.
I said determined.
Wow.
I said introvert.
Ooh,
It feels like
Yeah.
even though you're out there, you still like to be alone.
Yeah. Do you know what? I actually, you guys know the MBTI test, like the Myers-Briggs test. My whole life I've been an INTJ, introvert, intuitive, thinking, judgment. I did the test like a couple years ago. I became an extrovert. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not mysterious anymore. But you know what? Now I own it, so I'm definitely not an introvert.
Yeah.
What's the like, you know how it tells you like people or celebrities or characters that have the same personality type? What's yours?
Ooh, I actually don't know. Well, I definitely have searched this up before, but I don't remember.
What'd you write?
I wrote sensitive. Because I don't think anyone would ever describe me as sensitive, but I feel like I'm quite sensitive.
All right, well, that's another one.
We'll
right
take
there.
it easy on the jokes there.
But those are good ones.
I hear it.
Okay, not bad there. All right.
All right. Number 3 is what's her biggest pet peeve in public spaces?
I think everyone's going to get this right.
Oh no.
Oh, no?
Oh, it's just
What do you
like,
have?
oh, you probably don't have video on this, that's why.
Damn.
No, we
Oh, I got 2 actually. You know what? If you get either of them.
I don't want to look at it right
All
now.
right. I wrote PDA.
Oh,
Like
that's a good one
public.
there.
But it's not the one that you wrote down.
At first, I wrote bad smells, but I crossed it out and put bad spatial awareness.
Okay. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, I saw you even said this probably the
It
last time you
definitely
came.
covers
even.
what I,
Okay, well, I definitely got it wrong. I just wrote like people being loud.
How could I ever say anything?
That came to mind. I was like, no.
Yeah.
You want to be joining in on them
So
comments.
annoyed. It's like, bro, like,
No,
like the
I'm-
train and the.
Oh, I could never say anything about people being loud. I'd be like, I am the loud person.
Damn. Or smoking. That was the other one I was thinking, but I'm like, maybe
Oh,
not.
yeah, I'm an
Yeah,
asthmatic.
it's fine.
Anytime people, I mean,
Oh, but
I don't
no.
know. What do you have?
So what's your answer?
Okay, so my answer was public transport, spatial awareness related. So I said pushing in front of me to get onto the train. You know, the people,
Just annoying. Like, we're all getting on.
The people
Yeah,
that come at the sides. And mind you
that was
guys, tiny train station, that is where I frequent most of the times, PTV. So it is like the most, I personally think it has top 10 worst spatial awareness in.
People,
Because there's
yeah.
just so many people. Like, anyways, number 2, standing on the right side of the elevator. Sorry, the escalator.
Okay.
Standing on the right side of the escalator.
Not letting
And
people-
extra points if you're with your partner. I'm gonna break you guys up.
Wait.
Lols.
I hear it. I hear it.
Okay.
Especially when like they're
linking.
linking hands.
Doing the most.
Sort of is
Blanket.
PDA, huh?
Huh? Yeah.
PDA, yeah.
I don't mind
No,
PDA,
is that
depending on the
I don't think that's
setting.
PDA. I think that's just being inconsiderate.
That's
agree.
being considered. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. 0 for 3 for now.
So Nora
You
one.
got one. Yeah.
All right.
All right, 4th one. If she had to give up one forever, which would she choose? Music, movies, or social media?
I went movies.
It's gotta be
Mm-hmm.
me.
I think you actually have a very extensive music taste and you pride yourself on it, so I want
Yes.
movies as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
That's my
I
rationale.
think you give it away in your like concerts as well. Like you've been to concerts, like definitely can't be music.
Okay.
She's gonna come on. She's gonna come on this platform
She's
and
gonna
lie
say
and
social
say
media.
social
She's
media.
gonna say social.
bro.
I know she's gonna put some shit like
Some rubbish.
I-
no way.
Ah, here
I
we go.
feel like I could just delete all the social
Ah,
media.
get out of here.
No, I'm joking. I said movies.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm gonna watch the movie on TikTok. Part 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I know.
Part, yes.
Yeah.
I
No,
love
but do you
that.
know what? Surprisingly, I don't watch that many movies or TV shows. But this year, I said I'm gonna consume as much media as possible. I've been trying to watch a movie a week, but I don't know.
That's
It's hard.
and I actually think that's kind of healthy for us.
I think it is
Bro,
healthy.
it means you've set aside time to
So
rest.
it's like, you're setting aside time for the chill, but then also your mind is just active in terms of the
Challenge.
creativity aspect.
This is what she
Yeah.
means by we should read non-fiction books.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, read fiction. Yeah.
No,
Adapt
just
it into
movies.
movies.
I'm fine with that.
No, definitely, because I feel like now when you are just always constantly scrolling, the concept of a movie just seems like, why is it so long?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you go
Exactly,
to I think the first time I went to the cinemas after constantly using TikTok, I was like,
Yeah. It's
why is
crazy.
this so long?
Times to it, man.
Yeah, I think
nah.
at one point I was on my phone. I'm like, this is disgusting.
Damn.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Wow,
was
wow,
like,
you
this
gotta
is
enjoy it.
terrible
Got
cinema
that bad.
etiquette. And now, ever since, I think I regained my attention span by just watching movies.
But you still get rid of him.
Yesterday
so that's fine.
I'm on TikTok and this woman's like, oh, like something attention span, and if you find that like it's too long to watch a 2-minute video, I was like, too much.
I saw that exact same video.
I said, it's too long.
No, I opened up the comment section straight away, and she's like, and I bet you've probably opened up the comment section.
Reading your
Oh man,
She clocked it, bro. She
no original thought.
gosh.
And the
Alright.
last
The
one.
last one is, what's a topic she could rant about for 10 minutes straight with no notes?
I fumbled on that. I went Canada.
Ooh.
Toronto man and them.
Toronto, man.
Okay.
man.
Toronto?
Yeah, Toronto.
I said
That's
weaponized
interesting.
incompetence.
Okay, that's a good one.
I said relationship.
I was thinking that, but I
Ooh,
was,
that's-
that's
Is it relationship
general.
or politics? But yeah.
Ooh.
You can't talk about politics too much because she cannot be going
No,
places.
but
if you do that one,
That's
That
what
is
we
so
You're never going back home, are you? They're gonna find you and drag you out.
funny because I wrote Eritrea.
This is gonna get your ass, bro.
Eritrea politics.
Now free my girl, bro.
Oh, bro, politics. Oh my days. I almost wrote politics.
Free my girl.
Yeah, specifically Eritrean politics.
no.
The
That's
diaspora.
crazy.
Was the comment that you said that bad?
I don't think it's a comment.
I
I
said,
think
like,
the
what
country.
was-
I'm pretty sure. I know a lot of people that's like,
Can't say
it's you
anything.
can't say anything.
Yeah, it's very
Wow.
Should have freaking written Eritrea, man.
controversial grounds. But
Yes.
yeah, there's I think
Even right now,
people-
she's trying to say that.
no, guys, I'm not scared. Nah, yeah, people have no fly list. You can't enter the
Yeah.
country.
That's crazy.
But to be
You know, it's
fair,
like I'm trying to cover her and speak on her behalf. I'm like, I might need to go there one day.
Don't say it.
That's what I'm trying to do right now too. Like, how do we?
no.
You know what's
But
something I
think,
agree with?
What?
The 2% of your income goes back to the country.
Oh, you agree with it?
To an extent.
Okay.
If it's used for crooked behavior, which obviously
Yeah, it is.
I like it.
it's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But because it's such a small population, I'm like, the actual concept alone, I'm like, it's actually not a horrible concept of like, yo,
Yeah.
if you're able to make more money out there, and you want to, whatever, support home or not. I don't mind it. You know, like if I'm
Yeah.
earning 150K and I'm sending back 3,000 a year,
Woo.
why not?
Yeah. Ooh.
But let's not get into that. You have
We'll
trips
get,
to
we'll
make.
get into that on TikTok, guys.
Much
But yeah,
better.
I think the most amount of hate comments I've ever got is only when I speak about Eritrea politics. That brings in the
Man, and I just wonder. Sometimes I think Carlos says this a lot as well. Sometimes he's like, "Do we exist in the same world?" Because you can look in the comment section sometimes and just be like, "How did you get to this conclusion?" And not on a vibe of like we think that we're always right when we say stuff, but I think we're very based and
Yeah.
rational.
Yeah.
yeah.
So when you see people ride so hard, even like
But
literally how
so
we're
do
getting
other people. They think they're based and rational.
no, but I think you have
I
to.
think
I
we're
think you
all
have to know when
victims of our
you've
formula,
lost it.
of our algorithm.
You have
I
to
think
know
the
when you've
vast
lost the
majority
plot,
of
bro.
us.
Yes,
Nah, to an
exactly.
extent, yes. Yeah.
Like I think
there are
being
social topics where someone would hear your opinion, my opinion, whatever, and they'd be like, "You guys have lost the plot."
See, it's not
Yeah.
even that I think I'm always right, but I know that you're not right. That is
And
like,
I'm not right. Yeah, like is it? I know we're both like.
okay, no, I understand. Like, there's always, but for example, if I say, "Oh wow, a dictatorship is wrong. This is not helping the people," and you say, "You're so stupid. You know nothing about your country." Oh, I think you're wrong and you're irrational. Like that's what I mean. If you come from a place of you're just trying to have a conversation and we just don't agree, that's so fine. But I think people that go straight to personal attacks, there's no logic behind their argument. I think I can say you're wrong. It's not that I'm even refuting
Okay,
your argument.
yeah.
It's the way that,
That
you
makes sense.
argue. I'm like,
or
I don't-
or even when people hyperfixate on like
one
a
thing
one
you say.
aspect,
Yeah.
that's when I'm like, I'm normal
Yes.
and you're tapped.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
I get that.
to have 2 minutes and half
Yeah.
that you didn't skip, but a 2 minute video and you actually watch the whole thing, and it's like, nah, 39
Yeah.
seconds, man. That's all I'm gonna bring to the
Yeah.
comments. Are you freaking okay?
But forget the
100%.
whole thing. Oh man.
No,
It's just
it's
crazy.
actually gaslighting. Like, they always do that.
Yeah, I feel like there's just generally this inability to have nuanced conversations just across the board. Everything has to be polarized and everything has to have like everything has to end with, I have a staunch opinion on
Yes.
every single topic. And it's like, that is, realistically, that's just not the case. Like,
No,
I don't have a
100%.
staunch opinion on every single topic. I don't know everything about every topic, all that kind of stuff. And it's just like,
Yeah.
just that inability for people to even appear to be like questioning something. It's like, that is weird.
Yeah, no, 100%. I feel like I see that all the time. And I think even me, I'm not going to lie, like maybe in the past, I think I gave into like that very black and white thinking, especially on TikTok, because I think that rewards very like, you know, snap judgments and like controversial opinions, very polarizing. But then I feel like when you take a step back, I'm like, oh, this is actually not sustainable. Like, this is not a good way to have critical thought, you know? I'm like, and now I think when you actually like, now I feel like I post usually, it's not even long videos, they're literally 3 minutes. But for TikTok, something that's like a well thought out opinion, I believe it doesn't reward that at all.
Man.
That's just like, yeah, literally like, oh, it's a documentary. But yeah, and still you'll find I think only a certain group of people on TikTok are actually there to hear like a well thought out opinion. Most people are just wanting like controversy.
Yeah, and that's the thing though, is because, and it's funny because I don't think I used to always think like this in my own mind, where it's like, I feel like you always have to have a stance on things, which, yes, because they guide your life and you need to have, I guess, a base, but it actually takes a lot more effort to include nuance in the way you think, or to now try to, to take and, there's a word I'm thinking in my head, I can't find it, man. But like to look at two different arguments and then rationalize that yourself, that takes a lot more effort. And I think that's why people just, and this is why I say I don't think, I think everyone else is tapped. It's easier to think lazy and to be on sides of things.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what's... Oh, no, go.
No, go.
No, go. Because I'm going to change a little bit so you get it out.
No, I wasn't anything serious. Just like people that think or they're on like either side of something, which don't get me wrong, for certain topics, I think, take a stance.
It kind of is
but
black and white.
yeah, exactly. But for certain things, I think people think that they're really like strong-minded and like really, you know, standing on business if you're like very polarized in your opinion. But no, I think if anything, you're lazy. Like it's intellectually lazy half the time.
Exactly.
But yeah, what were you gonna say?
Because have you done ABC's vote compass?
No.
Oh yeah, this guy's
so-
One Nation, man.
Is
Oh,
absolute BS, right? But that's a big conversation on this whole thing, right? So
I didn't hear it.
basically,
No.
obviously, we've got the elections coming up, whatnot. ABC does this thing every time there's the big election, like for the country, called Vote Compass, and they just ask you 30 questions that are just big topics, essentially, that are being voted on that are in the conversation a lot when it comes to this coming election, right? So, for example, one of them was like, should the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander flag always be flown with the Australian flag in parliamentary settings, right? Between strongly disagree to strongly agree. And then, should trans women be able to participate in women's sports, right? Strongly disagree to strongly agree, right? And then after that, it just asks you a little bit about certain leaders that you want to see, like Peter Dutton, Albo, Pauline Hanson, what's the other guy? Adam Brandt.
Adam Brandt.
And so that's it. So there's no opinions in their questions, right? It's just statements, and then how do I respond to it? At the very end of it all, you basically get this graph of where all the major parties sit, the big four, right? And where you sit amongst them. What, to me, the most like important part of it all is it makes you realize Liberal and Labour are really not that far apart on the graph. Very close to each other, right? And so what you'll find is like so for me it went Labour, Liberal, Greens, One Nation, right? Isn't how it ranks the four, right? I agree with like, let's say 64% of Labour stuff, and then I agree with like 58% of Liberal stuff. And it makes you go, damn, this whole thing of you guys make it seem like you're polar opposites.
Yeah, right.
You are not
You're
polar
actually
opposites,
really,
right? And it's like that in itself is a whole nuance. And so what was really cool is yesterday I was like telling my dad about this. I was like, well, you should probably do this before election, see how you actually sit. Because what happens is like people just become party voters, and I think that's the stupidest thing as well. And so we were, on each question, we just like kind of had this conversation, right? And to what you're saying about like being intellectually lazy by not, it's like, there's things where it's like, me and him have opposite opinion on, right? And having the conversation allows you to kind of both go like, okay, we might have a different opinion, but it's like we're willing to hear it out. And it's like, in doing that, it's like I see how like certain things he'd go from like strongly disagree to slightly disagree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because of the conversation. I'm like, that is alone interesting. And then even some stuff where I'm like, oh damn, I actually clicked, strongly agree. I'm like maybe I'd be slightly agree.
Yeah.
You know? It's interesting, but it's like we just don't do that.
Nah.
The
Yeah.
dialogue for that, yeah.
Yeah.
Bro.
I think we definitely don't have that dialogue
Yeah.
between people. Of the only time you ever see that type of stuff is when it's like debates, but it's not a debate to ever like find any sort of middle ground or like to
prove
inform. It's just for like.
You talking
know,
about like the
just to-
Charlie Kirk type stuff? Or-
Yeah, like that type
Why
of
do you
stuff.
agree? I'm gonna tell you why I agree. You tell me why I disagree, but there's no common ground.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
trying to figure out
Which-
if you're gonna change my mind.
Yeah.
And even those are like more, I guess, American like platforms, but I think it definitely informs the way that Australia
Yeah.
kind of interacts with their politics, because I think a lot of Australians have very like American ideas of our politics.
it's a
Like we
massive
have
swing,
preferential
yeah.
voting, and
Yeah.
I think most people are still talking about like, oh, the lesser evil, as if we don't have like,
Literally.
you know what I mean? We have other parties, guys. But yeah, I think
Saying lesser evil in Australia is actually kind of hilarious a little
no,
bit.
it is. But I saw so many people talking about that. Like when I see like, I guess on my TikTok or like, I don't know, even Twitter, and people are talking about, oh, we need to vote for the lesser evil. I'm like, I can tell that you have a very Americanized perception
Inherited
of politics.
like problems and perceptions for
which
sure.
I think
yeah.
it's good that when people are, I guess, interested about American politics, because then it kind of like trickles into like caring about Australian politics. But you can't just bring the exact same, I guess, opinions and perceptions about politics from America to Australia. You can't just import it, you know?
Yeah.
It is different. But I mean, if it's making people care about politics, then
How much are you looking into like American stuff right now, like stuff going on in America, etc.?
Americans,
tariffs. All
I mean,
that
I
kind of
think
stuff.
it's kind of hard to avoid.
Okay, yeah,
But I can't say that I'm like fully invested into it.
because we were just talking about it, I guess, over the weekend or like Friday night or something. We're
Yeah.
just like, there is an absolute, how do I even say this? Like a blatant, I don't give a heck, and I'm just doing what I think is right vibes that we're getting from America right now. And the way, it's just
Yeah.
crazy to me to see how much the rest of the world
Yeah.
will just be like, oh, fam, okay, now, but is that how you're moving? Nah, this is how we're gonna move.
Yeah.
Like everyone gets up in arms, and I think
Well, it makes sense because it affects them.
100%. I
So
think I was
they're like,
looking at
that's how you're gonna-
some memes. I forgot what the number was like 54% tariff Madagascar. You just see the ones from the movie like, what do we do? Like,
Apparently, they end up figuring. I think people are trying to figure out how Trump got these figures, the percentages. It's apparently it's dependent on how much they import or export from. They figure out the difference. Something like that. It's like, okay, cool, you 10%, 50%, and I was like, that's very.
He's making stuff up.
He's just making, bro. That's the thing. He's making stuff up as they go.
Yeah.
Can I be really honest? I don't know if I'm smart enough to have an opinion on the tariff stuff.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I don't know. I actually
Yeah.
don't know. Like,
If
I
it's
mean,
a good
but I
thing,
think
bad
Good,
thing.
yeah.
I
making
don't
stuff up,
think we're
maybe.
probably smart enough, but I think the economists and whatever, all those people that are smart enough, I think they've all had some sort of consensus that it is not a good.
yeah. When leading economists are coming out,
Everyone is coming out and saying, like, we're not happy with this. I mean, Canada came out and obviously Australia's come out as well.
yeah, but of course we're going to be unhappy because he's imposing tariffs on us.
Yeah, but I think
it's
even
still-
America,
American
American
Oh,
economists.
I don't know.
are saying this is
So
bad for us.
I guarantee you, for every economist that's saying that, there's one saying
That's in
it's
favor of
actually
it, yeah.
good in the long
Yeah,
run.
no, they actually are
That's
saying-
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are saying by the end of like the 4-year term, this will be actually very helpful for
Yeah,
America.
they're like, right now it's bad. But
I don't know.
give a couple
If
of
you
years.
can get there, though.
That- yeah.
That's the thing. If Americans like, fine, all right, we'll go to work, we'll make stuff in our own country. And if they
Yeah.
don't, you're finished, bro.
Yeah.
Madness.
Do
Man.
you know which one killed me? The one about the beef tariffs. And everyone's like, we were never
The
going to
beef-
get American beef
Oh my
anyways.
days. There was a whole tweet about this. Why would we even buy American
Yeah.
beef? We have the best beef in the world.
Literally.
Top 3 nations. Right? It goes Brazil, Argentina, Australia.
Ah, man. Hey, I
top
can't
three.
lie. I'm
Yeah.
going to start using that one.
Yeah.
What?
I like that
True
one.
blue, mate. I might get in our own comments and talk smack to us, bro. How dare we, bro? Top 3 beef in the world, mate.
Top 3. Wow.
It's crazy. And
It's
I
a
think
movie there,
this is what you're saying in terms of like the whole, as you focus a little bit more on America, it trickles down into like our country as
Yeah.
well, because I think this is the type of stuff that we're meant to be paying attention to,
Yeah.
but we just have never, at least for me, I
Yeah.
know like this has not been at the forefront of my mind.
No,
the
100%.
most. Yeah,
I think
it's-
sometimes, I think they need to stage these, well, this is obviously not staged, but like these little, I don't know, I guess
What, just a little
bouts of drama to get people invested
Yeah,
into
get them
politics. For
involved.
example, one that I saw recently, I mean, I think this was very real, but you need to feed a little bit into the drama between America and Australia and get people like, I guess get that bit of patriotism. But I
Yeah.
saw that American influencer that came here and she took the wombat
Oh yes,
from the side of the
yes.
street. And
Yes.
I think Anthony Albanese made like he did a little speech being like, this is unacceptable. I mean, this is, first of all, a little bit dragged. Like, you don't even do this when actual people are getting killed. Actual children. There's genocides and these people don't say anything. But anyways,
that part.
Anyways, so yeah, he made a whole speech being like, oh, this is disgusting. You can't come to our country and pick up wombats. I agree. Don't get me wrong. I agree. But then I saw so many people in the comments being like, wow, like I'm so proud of our Prime Minister. Yeah, this is what it means to be Australian. I'm like, wow, I've never seen so many people invested in our Prime Minister and like, you know, in this way. So I'm like, maybe they need to do more of these.
That hit a wombat while they're driving. Effing wombats!
Obviously, I don't think they're animal abuse or nothing, but maybe they need to stage some more things to cause some hysteria, get people invested into politics.
I hear it.
Yeah,
I actually hear it.
A plan.
As you're chronically online, then
Yes.
I like that you agree and accept. What are like your, let's say, like the top 2 things that you think right now is maybe we should be looking at then, or
that
like,
we should be looking at,
or like top 2 things that you are paying attention to right now then, quite closely.
Ooh.
Even one. If 2's hard, 1.
You know what's crazy? I actually don't think I pay, like I think, which is a bad thing to say, but I think I passively consume a lot of this. Yeah. But I can't say I'm emotionally invested into anything, and I'm not gonna go recommend, oh, you should go tune into this, which is bad. That means I need to change my feed. But there's definitely some things been occupying my For You page. Like, I'm not sure if you guys seen Mikaela and Anna Paul. I think that has.
I need the lowdown.
It's
because my sister
the whole
told me about it.
Australian
Mawa,
page,
I think you've been tapping it.
Yeah,
we watched maybe the
I was
eating.
intrigued when it was like the 8-minute TikTok vlogs.
Yeah,
I was like, this is exciting. And then I saw like a 2-3 hour thing of her singing her bed. I'm not doing
You
this.
thought it gets to a point? Yeah.
So yeah.
So I think from the outside it does look like it's just like drama or whatever. Yeah, but no, she like was talking about her experience with that whole Paul family.
Sounds criminal as well.
It is. It is. Like, it's domestic violence, abuse, like sexual assault. Like, it's a lot of like, it's quite serious themes. And I guess that was with all like Atis Paul, the brother. But then she was also talking about the manipulation or like terrible relationship she had with Anna Paul as well, which I think caught so many people off guard. Well, not the ones that have been switched on, you know, but the ones that caught a lot of people off guard because her whole online persona has been built on like being a sweet, nice girl's girl. So it kind of goes against everything that she's seemingly stood for. So I think people have been invested in that for like quite a few months. But I think it's good that, like, you know, she obviously came out, shared her story, hopefully deplatformed. I think the only thing that I guess is the downside of this is it's become like quite trivialized. You wouldn't think from the outset that this is a story about domestic violence and all of this abuse. Because people have made it into like Dramageddon, you know, team this, team that. Exactly. When really, I don't think this should be, you know,
you don't really need to pick a side. It's kind of clear.
It's kind of clear type thing, But I don't know. I think it's interesting to see how a lot of Australian influencers or just like the Australian public has jumped on this. I think it's because like we don't really see drama, like big drama like that here. So I think people have capitalized off of it. Everyone wants to have a 2 cent into it. But maybe it's like, oh, maybe we should just listen to the victim and then let that, I don't know. Like, I think people have just made it into a tea time thing.
You know what's crazy? And I don't even know if this is wrong to think, but I feel like it's right to think. As soon as someone says, you let your brother film your OnlyFans content, I'm willing to believe anything about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you know what's so funny about that? She talked about that in her 26-minute video. I'm not going to lie, I did watch it on 2 times speed, but I did watch it. I'm like, if I'm going to say something about this, I want to hear what she has to say at least. She shows a receipt that is supposedly trying to say that, no, this is false. And in that same receipt, where she says that her brother doesn't film her OF content, below it, it's like, oh yeah, besides that one time, besides that one time in Bali, one time is enough. One time is enough.
I don't understand how that is. Okay. Regardless of opinions on sex work, whatever, me personally, I would be distraught if my sister was selling her photos for $3.99 a month, right? That's me. If she said, come film this for me, I'll pull my hair out. And I can't even do that, but I'll pull my hair out.
Start growing the hair to pull it out.
Everything. Chum, chum, ta.
It is very strange.
That's very-
that is
It's-
a strange thing to
And that's
do.
why I'm willing to believe anything about this person.
Yeah.
You can do
Yeah.
anything. If you can do that, you can do anything.
No,
Mm.
yeah,
Damn.
and there's a lot of other stuff too. Apparently, like with her dad, it's just become a whole family affair.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait.
yeah. Oh
No.
no!
See, I'm willing to believe
No.
anything.
No.
Yeah,
That's not far fetched.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Goodness, man.
crazy.
That point you made around the trivialization of very big topics is something I've always, anytime things like this happen, and I guess we're part of the problem too as people who create content based on things going on in the world. But again, I think we're smart and we come with based angles, right? But I think like it's such a common theme in maybe our generation or this age of technology. And I don't know if maybe this continued to exist back in the days, but something happens and we move so far away from the core of the issue and run with the other things that we've now made the two sides of the fence thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the core of it now, we don't even now go back to talking about there is a real issue right here. We don't know how much this is a part of the mentalities in the schools of young people. You don't know how much this is a part of the messaging that goes out through, you know what I mean? Like so many different things that's like, okay, but are we looking at the factors that have caused whatever this situation is? We disregard all of that and we run away with, no, but she said this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what?
My dad says this. He's like, it's not even a generation. It's like the time period that we're in. Because he always gets on my mum about this. Yeah,
Right.
He said like,
Sorry, pause.
Yeah, okay.
That is a very, very valid
It's
point
not
to
a
raise up. It
generation,
isn't a
it's a time
generation. It's
period.
this space in
Right.
time of humanity.
yes,
Yeah.
it's like same thing. They go, oh, your generation is addicted to their phones. No, we're not. All of us are.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
are our parents.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anyway, so my dad always goes, this time period, people really just discuss headlines, not articles.
Yeah.
Right? It's like no one reads it. It's just this is what the headline said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
done.
Run with it.
But when you actually read the whole article,
Yes.
it's like, okay, there's context. This is where it happened. This is what. So my mom will always like, spend all the day on the phone with her friends, whatnot, and she'll be like, oh, did you hear blah blah blah, whatever happened, or her friends telling her that, and they don't actually have the facts. They don't actually have the information.
When
But
did it happen?
But it's like if I hear 10 car crash in whatever area, I'm like. Yeah, so bad. And it's like, oh, well, it happened because someone swerved because they were trying to
Exactly.
avoid
Yes.
a rat that ran on the road or something. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a bit of context.
Yes.
You know?
People.
And it trickles into so many different things, not just like online drama. Like even with things like research or like numbers. Like I saw this one thing, like this was like a couple months ago on social media. There was this article that was talking about how braiding hair causes like cancer or something.
Yes.
And it even like
saw
changes
that.
the way that people...
Was this the actual hair being used?
the hair
Whatever?
braiding, yeah, and everyone was like scared, and everyone's like, we need to stop using braiding hair. Like it caused this whole fiasco. And then I remember a scientist got onto the app, or maybe that wasn't his actual title, but he was some sort of scientist or like a doctor, and he was like, if you actually read this, like if you read it, this study was done on like 10 people, and like there's all these different variables,
They
and like
already had
it's
stuff
like
they
the
were going
actual,
through.
it's like the methodology, the methodology.
That's right. Speech impediment. Sorry,
Speech
happens.
impediment, the methodology wasn't
there we
even
go.
sound. And then he was like, this is why you need to stop just reading titles and actually read the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a really good example of of
like
how people don't.
I had to write
don't actually
that
know what
bar
they're
in my
talking about.
freaking random quote. No, I said golly.
Yeah.
It does feel like there's something new every day, though. That it's hard to read the context.
Well,
I'm not saying
But it's
that.
not
I'm
even that you
I'm
have
not-
to read the context. It's just like, then just don't
Just
like
don't
speak
say, don't
about
speak
it.
about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But I think, sure, there's a lot going on every day. But the thing is that we need to know what is important to us, and then be aware of the things that are, a part of that.
You know
or
what's
the
dope?
article.
You can, especially now, because of the technological phase that we're in, you're able to find your own way of being fed information. So Daniel's soon-to-be brother-in-law, shout out to Leap, he gets so excited. But every morning, he'll because me and him always room together when we're on holiday, right? Just how it works. And so this guy will just play off Spotify his it's like a 5 or 10 minute every morning news show.
Yeah.
And he gets everything that he wants to hear, and that's like he's aware every single day. And he just does it while he's getting ready, whatnot. Like this is actually really smart.
Yeah.
It's actually a really smart way to
good
use
way
your
to do it.
time to
Yeah,
be informed
man.
or whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Like if
Yeah,
these are the things that are
100%.
important, like invest
yeah.
in that space of it and find the information there. But because honestly, right now, I think you're right. Like people just
We just want to yap, bro.
just want.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's just TikTok though. If you're getting your information, because the way that I view TikTok, if I'm like hearing headlines and news reports from there, the app just feels unserious. And so when you were talking about the whole like Mikaela thing, because she just comes and she's just like, yeah, and you know, she's swaying in the video and it's like she's moving around and her background sometimes it's just like whatever. I feel like people don't take the seriousness of the video. Whereas when I was watching the actual podcast, it was like, okay, this person's sitting down, she's actually speaking about, you know, all of the essay and everything that's going on, and you can actually take in that information. Whereas when you're watching on TikTok, it just feels unserious, which it's not good, because if someone's talking about that type of stuff, no matter the platform, we should actually like, you know, take it serious and take it for what it is. But it's like TikTok is just one of those apps where it's like, is it supposed to be used just for entertainment and, you know, not the serious side of things? Or like, how do we use it? How do we use it to its, you know, potential? So I don't know.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Because I think, optics definitely matter a lot, especially on social media. Like when you see, but I think a lot of people, corporations, everyone changes their tune with like whatever platform it is. Like for example, when you see a news platform on TikTok, like for example, 7 News. I'll see 7 News reporting about something serious, and then they're in the comment section kikiing with someone. Yeah. I'm like, who is running your guys' platform? Like, it's so real. And I'm like, oh, this is not a real page. I click on it, and I'm like, oh, this is actually 7 News. So I think it's, I get what you mean. Like TikTok is definitely not, it's supposed to be more of a lighthearted platform, so maybe that's why people don't take things as seriously on there. But I guess in another way, it's good that I feel like it can reach such a bigger audience, and people, I guess, are just more comfortable posting on TikTok. So it's definitely democratized like information sharing. But I guess the question of what platform is the right one for certain themes is kind of a big topic. I think especially because people say like it has a younger crowd. I know that's a big topic.
You know what I like? I like that you talk fast. You know what? Like it's not a what's the word? Like it's not a chore listening to you. Sometimes you get those people where it's like,
just get to the point. This is a 3-minute video.
2 times speed in real life is crazy.
Like even in person.
That is why my videos are 3 minutes, because it's just like 10 minutes of talking, but No, but sometimes I'm not insecure about it, but I'm like, oh, maybe I need to make an active effort to be slower. But guys, do you know the reason I talk fast on TikTok? Granted, I just speak faster, but there was a time when my family was seeing my TikToks. They said, I need to speak really fast so they don't know what I'm saying.
So they can't catch on.
But
Goodness, that's a lot. Did you watch Adolescence?
I did watch Adolescence.
Oh, you're a good person to talk about this with, actually.
Yes, that's what I was like. This actually makes sense. You haven't watched it, I believe.
I've seen enough clips that I feel like I know what happens.
I forget you. We're gonna just get in there.
Should I watch it? I was like, no.
I don't think you need to watch it, right? Because the messaging, we'll get into it. But the messaging is like, you can get that from a conversation from someone. Seeing it is maybe the cinematography, maybe seeing how they drive home some of the certain themes, or like visually connecting to the reality of what's going on. But it's stuff that we talk about, right? Thoughts, just overall.
I agree with what you said. It's things that we've already, like, I think a lot of people would have already been aware of or informed of. But I think it's great that it's in something as big as like a Netflix series. I think so many people watched it. And it's good that it re-sparked the conversation. And I think it's rare, at least for me, anytime I hear about, I guess, incel, whatever, incel culture, not incel culture. I guess people getting red-pilled, young boys, whatever. I mainly hear it coming from the perspective of women talking about, I guess, how people in their lives, like males in their lives, have gone down that path. You rarely see it from, I guess, the perspective of a young boy, which usually I think I mean, obviously me, I'm going to prefer a victim-centered narrative, because it's like, oh, I don't want to feel sympathy for this kid that did, no, not this kid, but usually you see it from like older males. So it's like harder to get sympathy for that. But I think seeing it, how it like panned out from a young boy's perspective, especially with someone that had such a normal family, it seemed, and he seems like a normal kid, like he was good at school. I think that made me have to think a little bit more, which usually I feel like I have like maybe on that black and white type thinking with these red pill situations. So I think it was good. Like it made me sit and think, even though I think some of the conversations that came out of it, a lot of people were thinking, well, how could this happen? Why did he do this? There is what is the why? I don't think there can be a why of like.
It's
why
not a rational outcome, so there can't be a rational decision that led to it.
Exactly.
Process,
But which is I think a bit harder to sit in like deep. Like I think after I was just like, oh, I don't know what to feel from this type thing?
That's a
Just
great
real quick,
answer. Yes.
Can you give a
Yeah, I'll
quick
give you. I was
30
going to give you a
seconds
synopsis.
summary,
Yeah. Before I do that, that's exactly what I thought as well. Because Marwa would be asking me like, "Oh, like, what do you think?" You'd ask me like, "Is it good? Is it worth watching?" I was like, "I don't know how to answer that, but I think it is." What did I say? I said it's more alarming than anything.
Alarming, yeah.
Right. So essentially, the synopsis of it is, and it's crazy that they started off like this. So like, there's
no build up.
They remove.
But this is also on this because British shows traditionally would do
quick
4
class,
episode seasons, right, on like Channel 4 and all that kind of stuff. And so it's like you have to get straight to it. There's not
So
heaps of
point,
build up. You got to find out who the characters are straight away, whatever. So
Yeah. So like, it's not a victim-centered narrative. So you don't see the victim's family. You see a photo of the girl. So essentially, the premise of the movie starts off with a police raid. And this is literally at the start, so I'm not even ruining anything for you. Starts with the police.
do nothing.
It did do nothing.
I saw the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I know that part.
Starts with a police raid, and pretty much they take this young boy to jail, to like the precinct down the road or whatever, and they're talking about like, yo, like, what's happened? The family's trying to figure out what's happened. And eventually it's revealed that the young girl was murdered the night before, and that young boy had done it. He's the one that had killed her. And it spun me firstly in, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Yeah, when you see the themes, it is very crazy. Like, they're saying, so where did you go? Blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, turns the thing and show video evidence of the boy doing it. After, throughout the whole first 40 minutes of the episode, he's been saying, Dad, I've done nothing. And it was crazy to me to see that. I really like the way that they've like depicted it. After he's shown the video evidence of like, this is what's happened, obviously the dad's like turns away and breaks down. And the son is still going, I didn't do anything, Dad. I was like, bro, what the heck is the actual state and reality of a young person's mind, especially a young male's mind, with what's going on in the context of our world today, that this could be such an egregious like thing that's happened. And in his mind is like, what have I done? What, you know what I mean? Like, clearly that's the acting side of it, but I'm like, how much different is that from potential from reality?
And I think it's great that in the example they showed, it was something at the more extreme end. And I think that's like something there. I saw a lot of people critiquing was that, well, kids aren't killing young girls in real life. But
they are.
They are.
It's based on, I don't know if you remember this, the 15-year-old boy that killed his classmate because she didn't give him her number.
Right.
Do you remember this in the UK a couple of years ago? And
Vaguely.
This was a whole nother conversation of like, if it's semi-inspired by that, why did you use white people for this? What is stupid?
Was it like
and that's just stupid people that turned it into a race thing. But
you see what I mean? That's the hyperfixation.
There's also a black boy that killed a black girl, right? Like, so it's like, this is not a race issue per se. This is a young men issue or men issue being indoctrinated. You know what I mean? And then the woman facing the consequences of it.
It's mad.
I was just gonna say, I think it was a very necessary show actually, because you would think that everyone's gonna like think like you when you see something as confronting as that, but I think I also saw so many responses of people being like, well, she bullied him actually, or like, well, maybe he didn't actually do it. I'm like, did we watch the same show?
It's like you start discussing the show as opposed to the
potential issue that
topic.
we have.
Potential issues, and I don't know if it's like denial, like people don't want to actually like see it, believe it. They don't think it's as big as an issue as it actually is.
So there's a couple of things. I think there's lack of proximity to the issue. So people aren't based because they're in their own bubble sometimes. You don't go and touch grass, bro, and realize what's going on outside. So there's a lack of proximity. There's a denial aspect of like, no, it can't be that bad. This is not what's happening. Whereas like, I mean, you were in a school doing a workshop for us last week. And you're like,
I said, this is wild.
This
if I
wild.
didn't step into this school, I wouldn't have known that this is what's going on.
Yeah.
These are the type of things happening.
So like the other episodes of the show play out like maybe the impacts of like the family. It plays out the impacts of like the girl's friend. It plays out, it shows the reality of what's going on in the schools. And so I guess the main part that caught everyone on in the first place.
When he's just being interrogated.
I love that one.
Like
the discussion with the psych.
That was
done so amazingly.
Amazing. That whole episode was perfect.
Crazy. It's like the whole thing is shot. The thing they do is like it's one take. Continuous shot as well. Like that's why I got the drones, all that kind of stuff. People lose their minds from it. But the pacing of it, I love it. I can't lie. The pacing of it in episode 1, this one take thing really drives home the intensity of the like issue, because it's not a grab him, cut to the scene, it's grab him, show the parents, show everyone losing their minds, show him getting put into the car, show the conversation between him and the detective and like the child, therapist that's there as well. Show him getting put in and being processed, and now it's got the cop that's just done this, and it's like, all right, how do we frame this? How do we approach this? Like, someone's literally just died. We've got the video evidence. It's a closed case right now, but there's a big issue at play, and it's showing the pacing of him just rationalizing, thinking. The reality of like, okay, we have to wait for his lawyer to come. We have to wait for the nurse to come. And I was just like, these things that go on, it is real, man. Like, it really makes it very, very real in front of your eyes. I was like, it's mad.
Yeah,
And I think oh,
okay,
go on. No,
I
think therefore I am. Damn, philosophers.
Come on.
No, but I was going to say, I think it was like even small parts of like the acting were really well done, or like the script, for example. Like, you know how the son was the one that showed him what incel. What did he tell him? He
like
told
the emojis.
The emojis. Like, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
But like,
parents are unaware.
It shows that parents are so unaware, not even of just like what you're doing in what their children are doing in their rooms, but like I guess this whole different world of like who would have
Yeah. 'Cause I was gonna say the same thing with the dad. There's one line where the dad goes like, it's towards the end of the show. He goes like, man, he's talking to his wife and he goes, when I was trying to get like workout content, whatnot, and like very quickly it starts turning into like that kind of conversation. And it's so true because I've spoken to guys or even to be honest, when I've taken like, meal prepping, a bit more serious, whatever, very quickly it's like suddenly becomes motivation content. Suddenly I'm like, what the frick is going on? I'm going to go back to liking skits from like this is going to get cooked. But it's like the parent kind of clicks and goes like, oh damn, like what if this is the rabbit hole my son fell down? You know what I mean? Just trying to whatever it is. And it's like, it's crazy. It's
madness, bro.
The dad was so good on the
People
show.
love him.
So he's one of the creators of the show. And nice. I thought this was a kind of cute fact. Like, he's dyslexic. And so when a lot of his stuff apparently that he does, his wife is off camera reading the lines to him. So it's easier for him to wear that. It was cool. But he was just such a good, like, this is to the actual show now, I guess. But like such a good character, and that like you can tell this guy has grown up manly, right, and whatnot. But it's like then you also see the evidence of a guy that's trying to do the work. That one scene, I think at the end when it's the mum, dad, and daughter in the car together, and then he says this. No, he says the phrase about like focusing on today, whatever. Yeah. And then the mum goes, "Oh, that's the phrase that we've been learning in therapy together." Yeah. It's like you see this guy that's like tortured.
Yeah, because the daughter's like, bro, what's he saying? It's like, we've come from this kind.
It's really good. Also, the kid, that was his first time ever acting.
Bro, what a debut.
Crazy.
Unreal, bro. Like, so good. That third episode when he flips out on her. You made me say that.
That was insane. On both of them, him and then, was she a psychiatrist or psychologist? Yeah. I was like,
when she starts crying.
The mood switches.
I was like, it's interesting because it kind of I don't know, maybe I'm deeping it too hard, but it's like the whole incel culture, whatever, it's like the effect it has on all the women around you, like even the psychiatrist in that situation and whatnot.
The part when he was like, what did he say to her? Like, are you sure you don't like me? Not even a little bit? Or like when he I think he actually genuinely thought he was not guilty in his brain, because he was like, I could have done worse to her. Like, all I did was kill her. And he's like, well, I didn't do this or I didn't do that. And I was like, oh. It exposed like the specifics of their thinking, like these incels. So I was like, wow, that's bad.
It was that, as well as the like the pornified brains of like young people when she goes like, have you ever seen or whatever, have you ever touched a girl? And he goes, no, but I've seen photos. It's like you think you've experienced it because you've seen it through a screen. It's crazy.
Oh damn,
it's insane. And I feel like it's so easy to access that as a child now. Like every single app, something that should be, you would think like child safe, is not even.
So
was this show meant to bring light to the issue? Like, what kind of conversations were they trying to spark, if we know?
Yeah, I feel like it's hard to say that. I mean, unless you actually go and probably look at maybe like show notes or whatever that they will put out themselves. I think there's a couple things. They wanted to obviously show like a very artistic depiction of something through the way they've produced it. I think though as well, I think they're trying to open up that internet age conversation, because for real, the stuff when it was like, okay, Purple Heart means this, Dad, Red Heart means this, Dynamite means this, Bean means this. You think I knew that?
Yeah.
And even me, I'm like, is that actually the case, or is that what they've attached to it in this show?
Yeah.
But it's like, and if it is actually the case, oh my days, bro. Like
Yeah.
that's just revealed all of that, and it's for parents just like that. That's a tool for them. You know what I mean? Because
Now they know.
it was even crazy how because the detective's son, he goes to the school where the same children go, and so why he pulled his dad aside, I was like, Dad, I don't want to see you walking around and making a fool of yourself.
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing because you're saying that they had a relationship because she's put these love hearts under his comments, but it's like she's actually bullying him because this actually means this. And it's like that's what parents are now trying to have to keep up with. And
figure out,
I don't know if this was outside of the show, if it was like maybe another podcast mentioned it, but they're like, before you had to keep watch of like, or like parents were scared of
Who my kids' friends are?
who my kids' friends are, and like they're scared of the playground and like the field and the outside, but it's like in your own home.
Yeah.
The dangers
You-
of
the
it.
dangers.
Outside is inside.
Bro, it is very much
Yeah.
inside. It's like the dangers are even at home
It's
now.
24/7.
Crazy,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, man.
It does make you kind of like, would I actually not? I don't want my kids to have social media before 16 or whatever.
course,
Like
yeah.
it's, but then I also don't want them to feel like an alien. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to
What do
their
you do?
classmates.
So tricky.
What
I don't
do you
know,
do?
man. Sure, there's a vibe in another way. I don't know. Feel like an alien, but you got good game time. I don't know. Like,
Actually, you're on public transport a lot, so you see a lot of teenagers and stuff. Yeah. Do you see any of like certain behaviors or whatever that you're like,
Oh.
this is weirder than when we
Yeah.
were teenagers or whatever?
Me and my sister have this conversation all the time.
Oh, she doesn't drive either.
No, she's younger. She's younger than me, fair enough. But yeah, no, like the high schoolers on the bus. Obviously, this is not like every single time I'm hearing this, but you definitely like hear glimpses of it in the conversations, even like the way they refer to women or like bitch. Like I don't know, is this?
no,
Like,
that's
yeah,
reality.
even like the way they like refer to women or like how they, I guess, discuss relationships with like girls in their school. I'm like, oh, I understand like this is like how it starts and then it gets
sure.
worse. I think even talking to like my younger sort of like cousins, family friends that are guys, I'm like, you actually have to put like in active effort to make sure that they don't sort of go down that path because it doesn't
Yes,
start. It starts off quite like
Innocent
not that-
a lot
yeah,
of the time.
not that serious.
It's just like, oh, men
Yeah.
older than me, they have advice. And then
Yeah.
it just goes whoop.
Yeah, and then you also sort of have to hear their perspective of it on it too, because obviously I think it's very easy for them to be fed this like sort of bitterness towards women when they're like in taking all these conversations with like I think older, like maybe dating conversations, for example. It's easy to form. It turns into a hatred, but it starts off as like bitterness, I think, towards
Especially
girls,
like-
and then it
yeah.
becomes rampant misogyny.
Yeah.
You know?
100% correct. 'Cause
that
I think
that
like,
exponential
Yeah.
growth is
Yeah, for
madness.
real.
It is.
Not even at least linear. It's just,
the
yeah.
thing is when they're using this kind of language, like there's no one that's challenging them and saying, hey, why are you referring to women as that? Because all of them, they think the same, right? So then they just grow up using those words. Because I remember in high school, there's a group of friends, not really friends, but, they'll be referring to women as that. And I was like, what? You talk to her, like, why are you calling her that word? But they don't have anyone that's challenging them. So they'll continue to just build on them before you know
Yeah.
it.
And I guess
It's
that's
gotta-
all
it's
the
gotta
discussion
escalate.
of like,
Yeah.
what good male role models are there for
Yeah,
like
exactly
the youth
right,
now,
yeah.
which I guess
Yeah, that's a very fair point because I think episode 1 shows that, and it goes into a little bit of episode. I think it was episode 1 mainly where they're like, "Oh, what's your relationship like with your dad?" Da 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 da. Because there was one scene at the end of episode 1 that it was after like the dad is all distraught, he's crying to the side, and the son's like, "Dad, I didn't do nothing." And I was just watching. I was like, "Is he gonna comfort his son in this moment right now?" Like I was interested to be
Yeah,
like,
same.
Yeah,
"Is he
right.
gonna try to comfort his son?" And he hugged him, and I was like, like, what the heck would I do in that moment? Where my son has literally just murdered someone,
Yeah.
and there's evidence. It's
And he's
clear
my son.
cut, clear
But
as
he's my
day.
son.
But he's my son. Do I be a father figure in this moment? Or I don't know. I was just like,
yeah.
clearly then his dad isn't a bad dad. Like he's present-ish. I don't know. Like, or at least he shows him that I'm your
Well,
dad. I respect your
think-
mom.
But I think
Yeah.
this is what the whole show is. It's like you can be so present and
But still-
not realize how unaware you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the whole thing with
scary
like Jeffrey
scenes, man.
Dahmer as well. Like his dad is so present but had no clue.
Jeffrey Dahmer, we went there.
No, but that's
Yeah.
an example of like a father who's having no clue what the heck is actually going on in your life. And even though they're quite present, but also in a time where, you know, he got taken in. His father's like, that's my son.
Madness.
Yeah.
You know,
That's tricky.
He still had that. Like, yeah, that's I get where you guys are coming from. But that's my son. It's like, okay.
I guess you'll never know until you become a
Yeah.
parent. But like right now, I'm like, I actually can't imagine ever comforting my child during that. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on this high school and like train stuff, because I remember, I think I might have said it on the episode before, but there was a day when I was just on the train and there was just like maybe 5 high school guys talking, and I wrote down the things they were saying because I was like,
bit of research.
I was shook. So, and that's funny. I called them stinky young boys on the train. They came in smelling like sport, bro. Like,
So if someone finds your phone and there's a note stinky, you're finished.
bro, but like literally in, I don't know, they must have been on for about 20 minutes, like between the stations and the rides or whatever. But this is where the conversations were stemming from. Themes of Andrew Tate, them talking about snow bunnies, getting nudes on Snapchat. They were talking about Afghans. They started talking about Indian trains, and then they started talking about attracting girls. So and I think maybe I did bring it up
Can
on the
I
pod.
challenge
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, but real quick, we've covered misogyny, we've covered red pill, we've covered racism and discrimination. Like they went through all of those different themes, just berating and saying craziness, and I was
Yeah.
just like, damn, this is the state of it. But yes,
Yeah. Outside of Andrew Tate in that list,
huh?
the guys we went to high school with, that list also exists for them.
I don't believe so, bro.
You don't think so?
Nah, in high school we were not talking about these type of things, bro.
Yeah. I think we may have not been.
But even I'm saying as a collective, and I look at my year level, bro. It's crazy that maybe like I'll go 2,
There were
3.
some guys talking about it.
Some
It wasn't-
guys, but the fact that this becomes
as a collective thing.
gosh, bro.
You know, on this whole thing of like I think the reason why there is an appeal with the incel guys, like the Andrew Tates and whatnot, is because you know how we were saying everything's so polarized, right? So is being a man or being a woman or whatever, right? And so for a lot of these young guys, what they forget the friendship influence and all that kind of stuff, whatever. But it's like just them. It's like what they see is the 2 extremes is what men go viral for online as well, right? The guys that are like Andrew Tate, whatever, full on like, you know, leads to the incel lifestyle. Or the flip side are the guys that are getting the nails painted and this and that and like just basically have no backbone, to be honest, as like what a healthy man should be, right? As should was air quotes, my hands are just full, right?
What fool with thought?
Yeah. And so it's like they go, well, I'm assuming right here, it's like one of these kids in high school goes, well, that looks borderline gay to me, so I'm just gonna go with the not gay option because then that's closer to me. That's how I imagine it goes, because you just it's which side am I gonna lean on, and then what side am I gonna lean into?
Right, like the presentations of what they have in front of them.
Right.
That's
And
very polarized.
So
as
very middle ground role models don't really exist because it doesn't do well on social media.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So I think there's that aspect as well. And so there's no one that for them that's just like a normal dude that gyms sometimes but doesn't tell them they need to wake up at 4 a.m. to be healthy, and then, or you know what I mean, it takes care of how he looks but doesn't overdo it where he looks better than his girlfriend. Like it's just like there's no that, because that doesn't sell
No, I agree.
online, and it's like I think because it doesn't sell online, they don't get an option presented to them. So the 2 options is like, you know,
we need an industry plan.
we need
some
which should be the athletes, because the athletes can't talk about politics that much. They'll get in trouble if they talk about women negatively, right? Which is a good thing, right? And so the athletes need to fill into that role because it's like that.
But then is that lack of substance kind of just as bad as well?
Yeah,
like
to an
the
extent.
only
Yeah,
thing
true.
they're selling is like fitness and
Yeah.
grind on your sports. I think I've seen like here and there some creators like that you said like fit that middle ground perfectly. Like they'll speak about politics or they'll speak kindly towards women, blah blah. And you'll see in the comment sections like a very positive response. I think
from women or from men?
from both.
Okay.
Well, this is very rare, mind you. This is one creator. I forgot his name. He's American. He's a black American. I'm going to try find his @.
Yeah.
But he does a great job of it. Like he still speaks in a way that it's targeting younger people. Like he still uses the lingo, the slang. Like, you know,
feel like
his
I've
target
never
audience is not just like people that speak like they, you know, holding a dictionary thesaurus, you know, which is great. I think we need that for younger people. But I agree, it's not going to do as well as an Andrew Tate or someone that's
It's just
speaking
not
directly to
polarizing
young
enough.
men.
Yeah.
I understand. Like, I think it took me a while to feel that sort of not empathy, but like to fully, I think it took me speaking to like younger cousins, younger family friends to like take that perspective. When you feel like all of social media is like very anti-man, which again, I still don't agree with that, but it makes sense why you would go to like the extreme side and go for something that's like anti-women.
You know what we need? We need more role models that are married. Because the married people don't hate men that much if they're women, and they don't hate women that much if they're men, right? Because they love their partner.
Because they love their
And so what you'll find is like what they do is actually they celebrate. Look at me holding my chapstick.
The young baddie over there, man.
They celebrate the woman they have. They celebrate the man they have, and it doesn't feel so like, what the heck? Because what I feel like a lot of your younger guy cousins or whatever will see is they'll see guys that are reacting to content of girls, like single guys reacting to content from single girls, right? And it's like, see, they all want to use us for money. They all want to whatever. And so it's like, fair enough, they feel that way. But then it's like, if you hear from married guys, like, my wife spends our money, and I love it.
No, I agree with that.
I agree with that, yeah.
Because I guess now it's like all just black or white, very polarized. But again, I still will stand firm on the fact that the I hate men content, while people say like that's given rise to all this red pill, incel, whatever, that is not true. Like a lot of the I hate men thing, which I agree. I think we've gone too far. In 2025, that should not be your whole basis of feminism is just I hate men. That's just lazy, yes. But to say that like equates to now the red pill, the incel, the blatant misogyny, they'll never have the same consequences. Someone saying I hate men, it like, yeah, sure, maybe it's not helpful, but that's all it is, unhelpful.
It's like claiming reverse racism.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
It'll
was it
never have the
unkind?
same-
Sure. Does it affect your life? No.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm gonna walk around saying cracker more often then, bro. That's what you reckon, bro. Are women just as tapped? Are young girls finished?
Yeah,
I wanted to holistically address
That is
this
something
issue.
I actually
figure out,
talk about a lot on my TikTok. There are definitely a lot of unhelpful, I think, role models for women online, especially in terms of dating advice, femininity. Like there's a lot of
I
unhelpful
think
things.
just the push and the selling of the sex worker lifestyle is very unhealthy. It's just shown as
as
really
of
cute.
late, for
You know,
sure.
once you're 18, just go for it. Kind of thing.
100%. And that, but also in terms of dating advice, a lot of dating advice, it sounds like prostitution. The way that people online, which is, and I'm not gonna lie, like I understand relationships, there's always some sort of transactional nature to them. But the way that we have now promoted, okay, don't think about love at all when it comes to relationships, take his money, blah, blah, blah. Maybe people think that is, I don't know, compensation for, I don't know, all of the years.
Pain and
that,
destroy.
pain towards women. But
Yeah.
it's just, it's not not great advice at all.
There's
Overcorrection.
one conversation that always gets had of like, you should pick the person that loves you more than you love them. And it's like, what the hell are we talking about?
What the hell?
Like, how about we both just love each other a lot?
I think now we all have this scarcity mindset. I think, which has been fed to us. Is it true? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But I don't think it's helpful though to be like the basis of your dating is that there is no good men at all. I should just settle for the one that is rich and is gonna love me more than I love him. That is gonna lead you to a very unhappy marriage,
Absolutely.
unhappy relationship, whatever it is. But okay, I guess you got your Chanel bag. Like, okay, like I just don't think.
I think that's the thing. It's like if you line out the whole statement or the journey of whatever you're talking about, and you're like, it ends with "I got a Chanel bag." It's like, does this not
Doesn't make
sound
sense,
stupid?
Yeah.
Hey man, if you adore her, dior her. So
Yeah, from a loving
proud of
man.
her.
Yes, from a loving man.
Yes.
From a loving man.
of course, of course.
And that's the thing. Do you know what I hate? Okay.
Daniel's never Diored her, by the way. But anyway.
Yeah.
I have
That's why I
definitely
had to
Put a
say
from
it.
freaking ring on your finger. Shut up.
and a bust down rolling. Nah.
Hey, you.
No, the one that I hate, which you always hear when it comes to online dating advice, is would you rather cry in a Rolls Royce or cry in a Honda?
rather not cry.
Neither.
I don't cry at all.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We're always crying. We're always suffering. And I think a lot of the dating advice given to women, it relies on the idea that you must suffer to be in a relationship.
Yeah, it's that struggle
there is
love.
struggle love, and there is an option to just be alone. Like I understand, we like as humans, we do need, that comfort from a relationship. I guess that stability, but we need to stop pushing this idea that this is just you're going to suffer regardless.
Yep.
You might as well do it and get monetary.
Get something
gain.
out of it.
No, I don't think that's
Guys do the flip side of that where they go, I'm going to suffer regardless, so I'll just pick the one that looks the best.
Yeah.
Because it's like at least,
And
they
then,
both do
know.
but then it's like, so those are the ones that are going
and those are the ones that go for each
each other, right?
Yeah, and see, this would be great if those two groups were actually just
together.
but they don't.
The really good girls fall for those horrible guys.
Yeah.
And the really good guys fall for those horrible girls.
chase those
And then
hoes.
everyone's got
Everyone's
baggage
ruined.
and
That's what
they
I
try to
hate.
find each other afterwards.
Yeah, so much of this dating nonsense, all of these
man.
all this discourse online, it could be solved if these two groups that want
Go
each other so
together.
badly would just get together. But the thing is, those two groups don't want each other. For example, Pearl. She is that.
Pearl.
Have you seen
Pearl.
that lady with the
Pearl,
podcast?
yes.
She's
Yeah.
very she has a lot of conservative values. Like she believes women should stay in the kitchen, make their men a
Cool, do that,
sandwich,
yeah.
and she believes a man should be working, whatever.
Yep.
She despite the fact that that's the type of woman she believes she is and that she should be, she's never attracting the men that she is pandering to. They will not marry her. Why? Because those men, despite the fact that they want someone that has those conservative right-wing
Yeah.
values,
They don't find her hot
They
enough.
don't find her
attractive.
attractive.
Okay, so this
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
this was my
That's
gripe
literally
with people like previously, now not so much. Candace Owens previously, where it's like it's another version of this. You're always pandering to these people that don't even like you,
Yes.
right? And it's like, what are you doing? Like
Because
this is
she's
the
banking on
weirdest
being
thing.
one of the good ones. That's the
Which is
thing.
such a weird thing to
Yeah.
think. Oh yeah, I'll be one of the good ones.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you know,
But, like,
like
deep
but
down,
you're
they don't
right
like
with the
it,
whole
yeah.
Pearl thing. It's like, I mean, you have all these guys that are fans of you, but not one of them's married you yet.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is it
okay.
enough
Look
to
at this
hear
person.
all these
That
comments
makes
being like, yeah,
sense,
she's
yeah.
one of the good ones, or she gets it, but you're still not married.
Yeah.
No ring on that
No
finger. It's just
comment.
what?
Yeah. And
there's still
so
point.
technically, by your own standards, you're useless.
Exactly. Because if you believe
no
that
one to make
women's
sandwich
only
for.
value comes from, I guess, getting married,
And you
being
don't
able to
have
provide
that.
for a man, and you haven't even been able to do that, why should I listen to you?
Oh, I need to tap in this.
See, this,
I'm
this
intrigued.
is this is what I was saying. I think it was the last week's episode, or whatever. All these, again, well, I believe the influencers should be married. It's because all these guys, the Andrew Tate, the whatever, all this stuff, they are not. None of them are married, right? None of them have kids a lot of the time as well, right? And so it's like,
They failed in their
from
thing.
a human biological
Yeah.
whatnot, the alphas are married men. Because like you're actually
They've
able
started
to,
their pride.
No, no,
Yeah,
you're-
yeah.
you
Yeah.
have a legacy. You
Yeah.
actually have a legacy.
Yeah.
But it's like when your whole legacy is I'm able to sleep with models and I've got Lamborghinis or whatever. It's like, I'm not gonna
ends at
lie,
you.
bro. You sound like you're unable to lock down something.
Yeah.
But it depends on your definition of legacy as well, or alpha. Or whatever.
I don't think the definition of legacy changes like that.
Like for you, it's family, kids, and that. For them, it's sleeping with as many women as possible. That's
But,
what
but
makes
it's
it.
like,
that's
but
actually not a legacy 'cause
historically,
it has no
yeah.
impact.
But it like
Yeah.
but there's nothing left as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, it
I
ends
think
at
that's
you.
why it's not a
Like, it's
legacy.
But
genuinely.
it's like this is a like very similar mindset to what you had previously. Where it's like I'm living for myself.
Yeah, no, but forget that. I got a wife. But the thing is, yeah. But what I'm saying is
you gotta
like,
say
no,
was
but look,
like-
how many? Tell me a historical.
to be fair,
no,
it's
no, no.
like-
But tell me a historical figure from history that when they're known because of the fact that they were able to.
No, but also,
Do you get me?
But also,
they were doing their bits.
but also
Never.
not everyone cares about living behind a legacy. Do you get
No,
what I mean?
but I'm-
his whole
But that's what
thing.
they
But that's the whole thing.
Wait,
That's the problem.
hold on. But that's okay. Because the whole conversation is always alpha, beta, right?
Yeah,
so if you don't care about leaving a legacy, you are a beta. By their own standards.
Right.
Yeah, like they're the
That's
ones that
what
set
I'm
up the
saying.
standards.
They set it up, yeah.
Yeah.
But now you're not even
According to your
living it
own
out.
standards about, this is about legacy, whatever. It's like, okay, then you have none and you're a beta.
That's what you get. Because I never heard about them leaving a legacy behind.
No, but that's what they're looking at. Like, I'm this,
Well,
I'm that. This is what we're doing. Bro,
for
think
me,
like,
the way I
no
was
one thinks
looking
about
at
the
it-
lion that lost the fight to the alpha and the pride. He's gone, man. He literally has no lionesses. He can't have. He is gonna die alone.
Real.
You have no future here for
The
real,
thing
bro.
is, If
That
it is
makes
about
sense.
legacy, you could even do like a Henry VIII and have like the 8 wives, whichever
Yeah.
one that was. But they never.
They're
I've
not even
never
on
even
that.
seen. Yeah. So the thing is, they go against their whole philosophy of discipline and control.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think they need to
That's
take.
facts. Yeah.
Get rid of that title. You're not alpha.
That's very positive
What's
and
the third one?
lighthearted episode.
A theta?
There's a
Or
third
is it
one?
a delta? Alpha, beta, theta. This is the
I will go. I
This
think
is
it's. I
the-
think it's theta.
Theta, yeah.
numerical
Yeah.
system.
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, no, I
theta.
thought to talk about like this whole red pill
yeah,
thing. I thought there was more
we
to
need
it
to
now.
introduce the third one.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
finished. We're finished. Well, let them go into that.
Deltas.
So what's happening with you? Podcast hasn't come yet. We didn't see
Uh-huh.
that. That's fine. You didn't do another one after ours. That's fine. As well, we'll take that exclusive.
Yeah.
You want long form Sinit? You come here.
We
We'll
need to
take
make
that.
it like a.
But what are you
bi-monthly
doing?
thing.
Like I said, I start off this episode saying you got motion. What,
What are you doing?
What's the plans with motion?
Plans.
Oh my gosh! Do you know this is so funny because I don't think my motion actually has anything to do with social media.
Right.
My real. Well, that sounded so like I got motion off. Like no, I mean like my.
Like, oh, what are you doing?
I think my ambitions or whatever, like they don't really. I don't. It doesn't foresee social media being
Interesting.
a main thing.
Yeah.
But I think last year, it was a year ago. Nothing's changed. But I said I was going to make a podcast. Maybe. I think I actually said probably not.
Yeah.
But it was something that I thought about definitely towards the start of the year. I think longer form content is definitely more suitable for, I guess, the audience that I have and like what I would want to produce. But I guess I just never really thought about the logistics of it. Like, oh, it's kind of hard to just start a podcast. But yeah, my podcast at the moment, I actually do make videos, but just for me. Like I make them on my laptop and I just
No
speak
way.
long form about
Yourself.
something. Yeah, I've been doing that since I was like 10 years old. I just speak to the camera, but I've never posted them.
So cool.
But yeah, I think this is actually a topic that I wanted to talk about. My personal life, I don't think I've ever talked about this online, but my ambition is to become a doctor. I want to become a pediatrician, right? I've seen a lot of discourse about this online. To be a doctor, it seems like so, like, it doesn't make sense to like being like posting online or whatever it is. And I think that's with so many different careers. Like you can't be a lawyer and then be posting outfit of the days, or you can't be, I don't know, like a doctor and then doing my opinion of the day. Like it just, they just seem like they just clash a
Can't be
bit.
writing Harry Styles fan fiction.
But that is something I do want to challenge because I don't think we have a very like non-human idea of like these
Certain
I guess
professions.
certain professions. Yeah. And I think we should, you know, people are multifaceted. Like you can be both, but I guess maybe I guess because it's Australia, it feels like it's a bit more like pushing the barriers. But I guess I haven't gotten to that stage. I'm not a doctor yet, so maybe I can keep
Cooking up the
doing
stuff
that
and
until
yeah,
that
yeah.
happens, and then maybe it would like fall off a
I
bit.
think it
But
depends. Like, let's say a teacher, right? And let's say she's got a TikTok and she's like throwing it back at the clubs.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Is this about finding the? Because I was funny enough. I'll be keeping up with that side of stuff as well. I know a lawyer that got let go because of
I saw
having.
this.
Yeah, because she's got a TikTok account. Again, I don't fully know if it's
What
because
was she
she's.
posting?
Yeah, that's
I
the
don't
big
think she
thing.
was.
Was it the outfit one?
No,
that
this
was
wasn't
another
that. I
one,
think it's
yeah.
more of like her talking about. Obviously, she's not going to put names to these cases, but she'll discuss. the
I
case.
have this person.
Like,
da, 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 da.
yeah,
I mean,
but-
okay, see, that's just unprofessional.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's weird because like if you are like I get it to an extent. It's like I want to hear like
What you
This
deal
is the
with.
nature of the
this is
things
the
that
nature
go
of
on.
things, you know, because this would have been like cases like 2 years ago at the same time. Like again, you're not disclosing much to it, but you're giving out
See,
a story.
It depends. This is nitty gritty, but it's like this is where it depends what type of lawyer are you. Because if you're a divorce lawyer, doesn't matter too much, right? Like there's one divorce lawyer. He does
That's
heaps
gone
of
around,
content
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
James
Sexton.
Sexton.
Yeah.
Amazing. Anything
Yeah.
he watches, anything he puts out, I'll watch it, right?
Yeah.
But if you're like a criminal lawyer in Melbourne, let's say, right, and you do a podcast and you're dealing with underworld figures and whatnot, it's like we can put 2 and 2 together and find out, oh, you're talking about so and so.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that is like actually stupid.
Why
Yeah.
is it because putting 2 and 2 together? Is that what you're saying?
Because
It's a bit irresponsible 'cause you
now it's like
jeopardize-
you're jeopardizing
the-
the
yeah.
Even if it's done in the past, it's like legal information doesn't need to be outside the courtroom like that unless through the correct forums. Like I think there's certain things where we actually need to protect the integrity of the system more than your ability to make content.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that part.
Yes, but it doesn't feel like that was the reason.
No.
It's just more of like the manager's like, we're not comfortable that you're on TikTok.
A lot of it goes into like respectability politics, I think, because I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And the girl, she's a black woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
a lawyer. The videos she was making, they were just showing her personality. She never actually really talked about
Exactly
the
right,
cases
yeah,
she was
yeah.
dealing with. She did talk though about like I think the employers she worked with, like her co-workers, which again I think that maybe probably violates some sort of code that you do. But I think it's like, where is the line between like you just having a personality and like posting that on TikTok or like whatever platform, and then being actually unprofessional? Maybe that one. Maybe I just enjoyed her videos too much. I'm like,
I enjoyed the videos too. But you're right, because it shows her personality. But I can
agree.
also understand like your personality is not a professional personality.
I understand. I don't know if that will change with the times or if that's something that will always just.
It probably will.
It's
To be honest. It
I
becomes the
don't-
nature.
I don't think it will change.
My English teacher in 2012 got put on
God.
1 year of forced leave because she was posting raunchy tweets.
Really?
Yeah, while she was at work.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it gets to a point. But it's like, I think some people feel like they really have to divorce their personality from their work. Like,
Their
you can't
work,
have any sort of personality. You have to be
yeah.
like very clean, which in the age of social media where people are sharing everything, like obviously that's a choice. But I think it's a bit of a crazy expectation to like, I don't know, have a completely personalityless.
Yeah.
Like I get it. It's like the manager's like, this client. You imagine the client one day goes like, "This is the person that's representing me."
Yeah.
I don't
Are you
like
gonna talk about
I don't
me?
like how unprofessional he or she is, even though it's just their personality. Like it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with
Exactly.
the ability to do their work.
And I think that should be, if anything, accepted way more than the people that get online in their like professional attire with their title posted
Yeah,
and are
100%,
giving
yeah.
like talking, like for example, like the doctors or like the lawyers that get onto TikTok. And sometimes I think that, if anything, is unprofessional. Like the ones that, this is like a very specific example or whatever, but there's like these plastic surgeons that get online and they, do you know what I'm going to say?
Go, 'cause I
And
feel like-
they'll be like, oh, this person has definitely had like their lips done and they've definitely
yes,
had this
yeah,
surgery done and this work done. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, if anything, I think that's unprofessional. Or like you're constantly, I don't know, if you're actually referring to clients or I guess things that, I don't know, you're just making judgments based off your work, but
Yeah,
you're coming from the standpoint that you're a professional, you know what you're talking about. But I'm like, oh, this seems like it's like some sort of ethical.
Yeah, and that's the problem
Violation.
now, because if you're the voice of authority on something, or you present it as that, and now you provide this information, this take or whatever, it's like it can run with that. It becomes
Yeah.
a wildfire.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's what he said or
But
she
yeah,
said.
but I think it's good and bad, because at the same time, like I love those doctors that are on social media or like those lawyers. It's like it's not every day that you just get to hear from like a neurosurgeon on your phone. Like, do you know what I mean? I think it's great.
It's like
But-
Dr. Miami. I love you. Also watched Dr.
Back in the
Miami.
day,
It's
man.
plastic surgery.
Yeah.
It just takes us on the journey, and it's very interesting and fascinating because you will never find yourself in those environments unless you are a doctor doing that
Forgot
work.
about
Yeah.
that guy.
So it's like he's taking us on the backside of, oh, this is what we do. This is why people come
Literally
in to get
taking
surgery.
us on the backside.
Come on. Nah, bro, some of that content I was shook. I'll be like, Mao,
It is
dude,
very
look at
crazy.
this.
Crazy.
The one that's
What?
crazy right now is the one that like they're shutting the gap in their forehead, like
Yes.
bringing it
Shit,
closer.
closing the
Oh,
gap.
that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I've seen that.
one.
Damn, that's crazy.
That recovery looks crazy.
Dog, what? What kind of Frankenstein ass forehead will you have, bro? We'll be keen for that. Though. I think I like that you have a very there's an offline agenda. Agenda sounds.
Yeah.
Agenda is such a weaponized bad word now.
Yeah, so loaded.
Oh gosh, but there's like an offline purpose for
Yeah.
what you're trying to do, and if it's in that space, and if social media gets to be incorporated into that, I think it's very powerful.
Yeah.
And I do think that it will change just because of how much more technology has been incorporated in our lives anyway. So I think that attitude towards social media will also start to change. Where like employers and even some businesses will start to be like, okay, but are you able to like build this out like for us? Like, you know what I mean? Like it'll start becoming a part of like the way that they work or
Part of the
operate with the
asset of the
campaign.
business,
Yeah, you become an asset more
Yeah.
if they're like, oh, there's a proven track record of you actually being able to educate people. Like I think
Yeah.
it'll change like that for sure. So
Definitely.
Yeah,
that's sick.
thank you for coming through.
Of course.
It's fun.
Oh my gosh, it's at the end.
We got. I'm so sorry. We gotta run somewhere else. We're supporting Chang. Chang's doing his
Show
comedy
too.
show. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
So
that
also
went
gonna-
very quick.
Yeah.
That was an hour
It flew
50
by.
though, I think.
Yeah.
It was almost 2 hours, you know.
Damn.
Yeah. it
No
flew
way.
by.
I thought it's been 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That feels very.
We might have to do another part.
Time dilation is real. I think time dilation happens when you're having fun. Like,
Very true.
Time
There's always that
dilation.
long.
I like
It
it.
felt like
Yeah.
35
It's
minutes.
factuals, man.
yeah.
I have a pastor got into this at one point. He said it from a Christian point of view. It's different. It's long. I said, no, you're right, bro. This thing is real, man. This time dilation stuff. We'll look into it.
Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. It was hour 20. In my head. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe, share it around. You can follow Sinit there and in the description. It'll be everywhere. And we'll catch you guys next week. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.